Whitney Young Football is on the air. We're joining you from Rockne Stadium on the west side of Chicago for tonight's Chicago Public League matchup between the Amundsen Vikings and your Whitney Young Dolphins. I'm joined on the call by the pride of Sydney, Ohio, Jack Wildermuth. Jack, how you doing?
Barry, I'm doing great. A beautiful night here on the west side. Whitney Young Dolphin senior night, wearing the beautiful new orange on white jersey, and we are going to get our fins up versus the Amundsen Viking.
Yeah, so game before ours took a little bit of time. Lot of bit of time. Marshall versus Orr. I think Marshall came out on top. So we might be starting. It looks like they put 25 minutes on the clock, so I think we'll be going in 25 minutes. There were ideas that we were going to try to get the 29 now. I think 29. I think we discovered two more seniors.
Lots of seniors. We found a couple more.
Yep. So we were going to introduce them before the game, but I think given the compressed time schedule that Coach Finger said, let's just try to get that done at halftime. But it should be a fun night here tonight. Big time matchup. All right. So I think that Dolphins, of course, come in at 6-1. Amundsen comes in at 3-4 overall. They've got 2 wins within the Chicago Public League, and I think the big story for Amundsen is that they were missing their starting quarterback, Smith Beeson, the first 3 or 4 games of the year, and they did not get a good start to the year. I think they were 0-4, but they have wins over Taft and wins over Brooks so far in 2 of the last 3 games. And quite frankly, like, their backs are against the wall. Coach Olson, Coach Nick Olson, has been at Amundsen for 11 years. He's at 59 wins, 36 losses over that time, and they've got 6 consecutive IHSA playoff berths. So this is a team that's known success. They came up sort of through the white division and last 2 years in the red division and have been a solid playoff level team. But sitting at 3-4 right now, they need to win their last 2 games. So they're going to be loaded up tonight to try to go against the Dolphins. Dolphins, again, as we mentioned last week, that 6th win clinches them an IHSA playoff berth, but still, when you look at the Chicago Public League standings, there's a lot of traffic at the top of that board, and you just want to continue to win. You want to get favorable positioning in both the IHSA. That's another story. Playing at 8A, you want to win all the games you can there to try to play on the top side of that bracket and host a game. And then if you end up losing in the state playoffs and you come back to the cities, you also want to make sure that that you're getting as favorable of a setup there as possible. So, big-time game tonight.
It's pretty big. I looked up the Amundsen High School is named after a Norwegian explorer, and their nickname is the Vikings, which is interesting. But do they know that we have the Norwegian Army knife made in China?
Well, let me tell you something. I'm not sure if they know the origins of Rayton Scottmere, but I know they know Rayton Scottmere. One, if they've done any of the scouting, but one of the things that we're going to do before this game gets started is that we're going to take a trip down memory lane. These 2 teams faced off twice last year. First regular season game was sort of a ho-hum affair. Amundsen really never got anything started. The Dolphins beat them handily. Then we faced off in the 2nd round of the Chicago Public League playoffs. Game up at Lane Stadium. And I actually had an opportunity to go back. I watched about 3/4 of that game last year. And if anybody else wants to take that trip down memory lane again, it's an absolutely incredible game. So Dolphins faced off against Amundsen. Dolphins got an early, actually not an early, those teams it was a rock fight, 0-0. Luke Jolich scored a touchdown just before halftime. So that game was 7-0 at halftime. Then the midway through the 3rd quarter, Elmer Jaka, the quarterback for Amundsen, was able to get in on a run. Then Dolphins got the ball back and sort of were just chunking down the field on a drive and got another score from Jolich. I think that was even in the fourth quarter at that point of time. Put them up 13-7, and that's where things sort of got interesting because, and that's where some of our pregame guests are going to come in on this. We have two of the three doctors with us tonight. We've got Dr. Solomon Bradley and Dr. Ben Barrett. And so in that game, when it started getting interesting was that after that Jolich touchdown, not to the fault of our doctors, the fault of one of the guys on the line, and just a great play by Amundsen, but the extra point was blocked. So 13-17. And this is week 12 of the season. Teams were beat up, and that game was just guys going at it. Really good players on the Amundsen side. They got a kid, Derek Weems, who is an all-city lineman who they had lining up at tight end. They had him at tight end, another lineman at tight end, and they were just trying to run behind Reggie Miller and Reggie Mitchell. Reggie Miller was shooting three-pointers in the backyard, getting beat by his sister Cheryl. But anyway, the Vikings get the ball back. They are able to put together another long drive. One of the big passes. Hey, guys, don't go anywhere. All right. The long pass actually completed to Smith Beeson from Elmer Jacob. Smith Beeson from the Vikings. He's the starting quarterback tonight, but was playing wide receiver last year. He made a big catch, and then they had another guy, Vucic, who was their wide receiver kicker. He actually ran in a touchdown for the out of the Wildcat formation. They had a really good kicking game as well, but that's where, so they would have gone up 14-13 in that game, but Aaron Champion came around the edge, blocked the extra point. So 13-13 tie game. Teams actually traded interceptions after that. Dolphins got a little bit of a drive going, but threw an interception deep in the Vikings territory. Vikings got a little bit going, ended up throwing the first, that's part of the lead of this, first interception by Quinn Duhan, and then the game ends up going to overtime. Overtime starts the Dolphins, let me get this. The Vikings had the ball first. Vikings had the ball, got a big run from Mitchell to start with, and eventually on fourth down, Jacob completes a pass to Jasper Carlson for a touchdown. And again on that, they had run the first three plays, really nice inside tackles. Carlson catches the ball, touchdown. They kick the extra point. They're up by 7, so at this point it's 20-13. Dolphins roll out there on the field, get a good first down gain from, I think, Max Warner on that. Then basically stop for no gains on the next two. One was a Conrad run. I think no gain for Max, no gain for Conrad, and brought up fourth down, and a call that I actually butchered a little bit. But Max Warner got the handoff.
Got the corner.
He got the corner, which almost looked impossible because there were, I swear, 8 Vikings between him and the end zone, and Warner got the corner, scores the touchdown, and then proceeds to way off in the corner, spikes the ball, gets a 15-yard penalty, and that's where the doctors come in, and that's where I actually want to throw. Let's put Solomon Bradley on the headset. Are we good right here, Remy, if we get us in view? So, Solomon Bradley, who was I meant to go back and look at. I think that on the year you were something like 35 of 37 on extra points. You booted a bunch of field goals. I think, 44 yards was your longest.
In-game long, 44 yards.
In-game, because the guy could have whacked it longer than that. And earlier in that Amundsen game, had a 70-yard punt. So you're saying that you had a PhD in special teams at that point, right?
That's what I would like to say.
Okay, he came up with that. I'm not going to say I came up with a PhD in special teams. Let's take it back to that moment, right? 20-19, 15-yard penalty. You're lining up the extra point at the 25-yard line. So 30 think back. Can you remember your emotions at that time?
Yeah, it's just natural. You got to do what you've always been doing. 1,000+ reps at it. Nowhere near a master. I had many misses on the season, but you just got to do exactly what we've been doing the entire time, and it was just pretty natural. Don't think anything of it. and just nail it, and you got it.
And you did. You hammered that thing. That thing would have been good from probably 50. We're going to get the 5-star long snapper in here in a second as well. Ben Barrett is with us. So ties the game, second overtime. Again, at this point, our offense is gassed. I mean, Ben was mentioning earlier, like Nick Dale had a high ankle sprain. I mean, Nick played that full game on that ankle offensively, and like if you want to say he couldn't even play the next 2 weeks. Somehow he made it through that game. Jolich was sort of in and out of the lineup. He was injured, he was cramping, lots of stuff going on. So second overtime, we don't get much going at all on offense. Fourth down, same thing. We trot you out for a field goal. That's a little shorter. I think a 24-yarder. Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah, more manageable, but I was still able to get it in.
Yeah. So ice water in your veins on that one. Go up 23-20, and then Amundsen gets the ball back down. Nice tackle by Quinn Duhan. So our safeties were all over the field in that game, Duhan and Latham. Latham stops, I think, Mitchell on second down, no gain. And then third down, I think in their mind, they're going to go back to that play that worked for them in the first overtime, hitting that pass. And so, line up like in a bunch formation, like they're going to run it and try to get the tight end on a little crosser. And big old Barry Gordon, BG3, puts a mid up there. Ball hangs up in the air for what's felt like 35 minutes and lands in the arms of Mach 5 Quinn Duhan. Game over. Dolphins going to the Chicago Public League Championship.
Yeah, there was really no other way that we could have won that game.
Yeah, it was, and that's how it felt too. Is like it was just a battle of attrition. I think that we're going to see that from Amundsen tonight. I mean, they're a tough team. Let's talk more about you, man. What do you got going on? You're at UIC, right? How's that going?
Yeah, I'm studying history at UIC. It's good so far. I like the people there. Good campus, unique campus, but yeah, it's not anything that I didn't expect, I would say. I like it a lot. It's good. It's good.
All right. And have you been tuning in at all on the Dolphins? What do you think about your special teamers this year? We got the kickers are sort of, and I look back on some of the stuff, and before you was Fernando Lozano, then you had your years. Now it's been we've had weapons in the Chicago Public League at kicker.
Yeah, continuity. As you said, for Francisco, to me, to Sean Miller now. Yeah, that continuity, that ability to be able to have three guys who had quality kicking, that's something special, I think. I think that really gives us an advantage. Yep.
I'll tell you, Amundsen has a good kicker, though, tonight. I mean, I think that's one of the things as far as they had a good kicker last year. Vucic was their kicker last year. They got a different kid this year, and I was just watching some of their games, and he's been good, and they've lined him up for some field goals as well. Yeah. So I think that's one of the keys of the game tonight is keep it away from a one-score game. One last question. You got a prediction for tonight?
I would definitely say that the Dolphins are going to win this game. I just think they're coming off a string of wins here. Their one loss against Morgan Park was a hard-fought loss. It was one that they were in for a lot of it. So I definitely think that this program is growing year over year, and they're going to just continue on and do well in this game.
All right. Solomon, appreciate it, man. Thanks for being on. We're gonna jump on with the other doctor, Dr. Barrett. All right, we got our 5 3/4 star long snapper, Ben Barrett. Ben's, how's it going, man?
Pretty good right now. Yeah,
I'm gonna put this just up a little bit farther, direct there. There you go. Okay, so I went through the whole Amundsen highlights. What's it been like being away from high school football this year?
It's a lot different. It's strange. The summer felt weird. I mean, there was no practice. I was like, what am I gonna do?
Yep. So you're down at Elon, right?
Yep.
How's that going?
I'm so happy I'm there. Like, I'm getting good grades, first of all, but I'm having so much fun while I'm there, so yeah.
Oh, all right, that was for your mom and dad. He's getting good grades.
I am.
Ryan Aroni, he's getting, and not that we're surprised about that at all, that you're getting good grades.
Yeah, no, but trying to walk on. I've been really involved with the specialists. I help film with them, and sometimes I get to go. This is maybe the best part of my Wednesdays and Thursdays. I get to go up in one of those skyjacks and like record the whole film. It was fun watching them, even though they lost at Villanova the other day. I called out like 6 of their offensive plays. I felt so proud of myself.
Nice. So you're actually like game days. You're are you on a headset or anything?
No, I'm not. But I just went that day.
Okay. So you're working with the team.
Yeah.
You had, and that was one of the things that from a HIPAA perspective we couldn't discuss last year. That you had a torn labrum all year, right? That was, again, I attribute that to the solid parenting. I think you had it for like a year, right?
Oh, I don't know how long I had it for, but it was not good.
Yeah, yep. And I'm just giving your mom and dad a hard time because, and they're here tonight, right?
Yeah, they should be.
Yep. They're tailgating.
Yeah.
We know where to find them. All right. So, and then the plan is to try to walk on next year.
Yeah, that's the plan. Hopefully. I get to try and show them what I'm made of in like 2 weeks or something like that.
Okay.
I think it's the Saturday after Halloween.
So have you been practicing long snapping?
It's been hard. There's not a lot of time.
That you're just going to be able to do it?
No. I've been like putting in work though and stuff.
Okay.
So I don't know, taking a chance, but
no, that'll be fun. That's
I'm doing
awesome.
it for fun, not. I don't know. I'm just doing it for fun.
Yep.
Football's fun. I want to play football more.
Yep.
So yeah.
All right. Well, that's cool, and it'll be interesting catching up with some of your other teammates. I know Nick Dale is down at Wash U right now. I kind of heard that he got moved out to tackle.
I did hear that.
I saw Jason Perez play a couple of weeks ago. He's playing at edge rusher at North Park. He had a really nice game. It was one of those days, super hot. He played every special teams and probably 60% of the defensive snaps they played against Augustana. But really, he was a guy Jason was working out at middle linebacker, and I wish that he could stay at middle linebacker. I think they moved him from a need perspective to edge. I actually found out today, a guy who had a birthday a couple days ago, and a guy who we brought up with that big blocked extra point, Aaron Champion. Aaron Champion is playing at college as well. He's playing at Rhodes down in Memphis.
Yeah, I did know that. I did not know it was in Memphis, but I forgot he was playing. Yeah.
So needed to catch up, and Juan Cepeda has been on with us. We had Anthony Hood and Juan Cepeda on as halftime guests a few weeks ago. Anthony is not playing this year, but hopefully will be back on the field next year. And Juan is out at Roosevelt, where Pat McHale is the tight ends coach.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, the finger coaching tree is developing. So
the tight ends coach. I did not know.
Yep.
That's where it was going.
Yep. So we got a lot of guys, and Sam Wyatt still playing out at Pomona.
Yeah, he is.
And then
I haven't seen him in a while.
We got a couple of rugby guys. We got Alex Dale playing rugby at Northwestern, and Luke Yolich playing rugby at Wisconsin.
And me. I'm playing.
Are you playing rugby?
I'm playing rugby at Elon right now.
Oh, awesome. All right. How's that going?
It's fun. It's been my replacement for physical contact.
All right, so you get to hit some people. That's good.
Yeah, you get to hit people. Nice thing about rugby is I actually get to get the ball. Unlike
back in your you got the ball, but you always had to snap
I got the ball.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of guys that never get to touch it. Although we got a couple big man touchdowns this year. MJ got a touchdown last week, and Alex Oshevsky recovered a fumble in the end zone a few weeks ago for a touchdown against Perspectives. I think we had 2 scoop and scores last week. Joseph Gray on one. He's been in the end zone before 7 times over his career. But MJ also, we did not fault him for a celebration 15-yard penalty on that one either. Good strip sack from Josiah Purnell, and MJ picked it up and rumbled in.
That's good.
Well, all right. Ben Barrett, it's been a pleasure, man.
Nice to see you again.
All right. Enjoy the game. Let's get a win.
I will.
And go Dolphins.
Go Dolphins. All
right. So there we go. We got some special guests before the game. I think Jack's just checking in right here. Again, we thought we'd have seniors pregame, but I think that we're actually going to have them postgame. Or not postgame. We're going to have them at halftime.
Senior night, Barry.
We are looking forward to it. We covered a bunch of. I went on a bunch of different tangents there, but yeah, if we get locked in a little bit more, it looks like 5 minutes left on the clock here before we get started. But again, we senior night.
Quick.
So we've got Jacob Wildermuth's head.
We have a 7-year-old anxiety-ridden Jacob Wildermuth here. His head, and he's turned. Thanks to Coach Finger's program. Not going to get sentimental. It's really changed the life of a lot of young men, which is pretty cool. Senior night, let's go.
Yeah, this is it's one of these moments, and I think high school football. It goes fast. That senior year goes fast. You think in the last week of August or that first week of September, it's like, oh yeah, we got long season just at the start of the season, and then it just picks up quick momentum. And I think as a parent, I went through this, Jack. I think you had to prop me up a few times in calling my son's last season. I got choked up a few times. I remember getting down on the field for senior night as well. And these guys hopefully have a lot. I mean, they definitely have a lot of football in front of them. But all of these games mean a lot more in the scorebook, but also mean a lot more from sort of a sentimental reason. And great to have everybody out here tonight. 29 seniors that we'll recognize. But game on the field, important stuff. So kind of touched on that. Dolphins come in at 6-1 overall, 4-1 in the Chicago Metro Division. Big win last week, if you joined us. Shutout, third shutout of the season against Clark. Talked about those two scooping scores from Joseph Gray and MJ Woods. Total, Whitney Young is averaging 35.4 points per game. I mean, they reeled off those first three games, 41, 41, 42 points. I was talking to Brian Miller, Sean Miller's dad, and it sounds like Sean Miller will be able to punt tonight. Yoni Luze will still be doing the place kicking. But I said to Brian, I'm like, yeah, he's going to punt tonight. You know how many times the Dolphins have punted all year? And he said, yep, I know. 2. Dolphins have punted twice all year. Now, that may change tonight. I mean, I think Amundsen is a team. I watched their film, watched them against both Brooks and against Taft. And I think they're going to look a lot like last year. Last year, maybe they had a little more size up front with Weems. But, Reggie Mitchell is back, all Chicago Public League running back. Smith Beeson moves over to quarterback from wide receiver. They've got a lot of athleticism. I mean, so we're going to see a lot of guys touch the ball tonight. Definitely they're going to lean on Mitchell at that running back position. But they also have another kid. Let's see, Jose Rios, who's another running back that they get the ball to, and then we'll see a lot of quick passes. They do some bubble screens. They get the ball to the running backs out there. But then I think that they're a team that's well coached. Nick Olson, again, been around for a while, has played against the Dolphins a bunch, so understands what he's facing. And I also want to see if their downfield passing game. We've seen if there's. And again, you play a defensive formation, and there's going to be, you play that cover 2, there's going to be some weak spots in the zone. I mean, that's just by design. Sometimes you get that down the seam, and we've seen Lincoln Park, we've seen Phillips be able to go after that a little bit, and I think that Smith Beeson will try to get some of his receivers free downfield as well.
Yeah, that's a natural place to attack that cover 2. Not many teams have been able to execute, so hopefully we're going to focus up. And I have the Bennett Newman keys to the game, if it makes sense. I talked to young Bennett Newman, sophomore down there at Indiana University, undefeated, number 3 ranked Hoosiers. 2 keys. One is, as you mentioned, the aforementioned Reggie Mitchell, was to contain him. Stay disciplined, try to contain Reggie Mitchell. And number 2, get off to a good start. As you mentioned, Amundsen has some great athletes on this team. They have a history of great athletes coming through the program because, after all, they are Vikings.
Yes.
So you got to figure there's some guys. But if we can get off to an early start, destroy their will, not destroy their will, take their will down.
I would destroy their will. I think that would be really good.
And then, with the athletic ability of this team, if they're in the game, they're going to keep fighting. So Reggie Mitchell, and a good start. Keys to the game brought to you by your Chicago area Ferrari dealers.
Yeah, we got at halftime we'll hit a lot of these senior numbers because they're starting to pile up. The career numbers for guys like Vaughn Conrad and Maxwell Warner and Miles Barsma are really starting to look kind of special. Warner last week again over 100 yards rushing. That's his 5th time this year. He's tallied 744 rushing yards on the season and over 1,500 yards for his 4-year career. 21 rushing touchdowns, 3 receiving touchdowns over that span. Conrad, career best, tied his career best, which he's done 5 times, 3 touchdowns last week. That was a week after he had his career best in passing yardage. That was the week earlier against Phillips. So Conrad, 17 touchdowns passing this year and 25 over his Dolphins career, throwing 5 rushing touchdowns, and VK5's at 30 touchdowns for his Dolphins career. 30 and counting. Rayton Scottmere reeled in a touchdown catch for the 3rd consecutive week last week. He leads the Dolphins with 322 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns. So lots of things to talk about tonight. And I guess I'd say, I agree. A quick start. I do think that this is one of those games. We talked about it with Solomon Bradley. I think Aguilar is their kicker. Let me make sure I know that. Yes, Eduardo Aguilar. And they lined him up for some field goals. He was perfect on extra points. Amundsen can always throw you a few things in special teams as well with some onside kicks that you have to be watching out for. I think that's Aguilar right now. So Aguilar is lining these things up from 40, so 50 yards. He had it teed up at 50 yards, and he was just off to the side. There's their other kicker who lined it up from 40. Now he was at the 35, so 45-yarder, and he made that thing by like 10 yards. So I think special teams are going to be important, but that also stay away from the turnovers, right? I mean, I think Conrad's been so good all year. He's thrown 4 interceptions all year. Don't turn the ball over. I'd have to look from a fumble perspective. I think we only have 1 or 2 all year. So the Dolphins have been super clean, definitely winning the turnover margin by a long way, and I think you want to do that tonight. I mean, I think if you do that tonight, you take care of business and you move on with a win. But I think if you turn the ball over and this thing gets into a closer game, then you've got Amundsen being able to maybe lean on Mitchell a little bit more, lean on their athleticism. Not that we can't match with athleticism. But it looks like we're going to get ready to start here. Coach Finger in the huddle right now talking to his 6-1 Whitney Young Dolphins.
Yeah, nice night here on the west side. We got some wind blowing. Yeah. This weather report is brought to you by Paul Conrad and the Conrad Family Singers. Go see them in December, the Chicago Theater. Paul Conrad, and he has 10 kids. The Conrad Family Singers playing with Mannheim Steamroller at the Chicago Theater. It is 64 degrees with winds 9 miles an hour from the south, gusting up to 1 billion miles an hour as our stuff just blew away. And importantly, the dew point, 52 degrees.
There you go. So Dew Point probably so they're playing the Chicago Theater, don't they? What's the place with the jousting? Don't they play there too?
Well, that's more of in the spring. They're out there at medieval times.
Medieval times.
They like to sing there. Sometimes he has 10 kids, and some of them get knocked down by the jousting, and they might lose a couple out there, but that's okay. That's in April. It's what they do.
Yeah, I was thinking about that with the Grays and the Conrads. I mean, when they have their Christmas card, their holiday card, do they use that tilde next to the number of kids? The little approximately.
They do. They do.
Yeah, they're a big Tilda family. The Grays, the Conrads.
And saw Dan Gray, the dad of the football players, just reliably bringing the Gatorade.
Yeah. Oh, you hooked me up with some magical hydration drink last week. I headed out to the tailgate last week after as our team was loading up on the bus, and
he did have that.
Yeah. All right, looks like the Dolphins will be kicking off here. Vikings are already on the field. Dolphins still waiting to roll their starting kicking lineup up out there. I'm not quite sure what the delay is.
Looks like we have Miles Barsma might be our kickoff.
Yep, he is out there.
Kicking is cool, Miles.
Let's see. I like Amundsen's red jerseys better for picking up numbers, but we'll do our best.
It looks like it's going to be Miles Barsma against everyone on Amundsen. I like it. I'd take that.
Sure.
I think he would do just fine.
Into the billion-mile-an-hour gust here. But it is kind of strange. I'm trying to. Where's Coach Finger? Coach Finger's down here on the sidelines. And all of our guys are still on the sidelines. Coach Boucher is looking around. Kendall Lynham. It looks like we were maybe waiting for Kendall Lynham. Kendall Lynham is also Breast Cancer Awareness Night tonight. So got a lot of pink socks, pink sleeves going on for guys. I'm rocking a pink tie tonight. I bought
nice.
I bought one of the Breast Cancer Awareness T-shirts that the Whitney Young School is selling right out front.
It's nice. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Barry.
Yeah, it is. Last year I said it was Breast Awareness Month, which for a middle-aged guy is every month, but it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October, and all of the proceeds are going to the Susan Komen Foundation. Talked to Hayden Petrulis, who's always big in those efforts. I talked to her before the game tonight. Hayden on the sidelines, one of the
Coach Hayden
student
doing
coaches.
A nice job.
We'll talk about flag football at halftime. They're advanced to the quarterfinals at state.
All right, our kickoff team got Jacob Wilderman with 426 Nevin Hinkle. We have a lot of senior-laden special teams, which has always been a hallmark of Coach Finger's teams.
Yep, Lynham's out there.
Kendall Lynham.
Jameer Spencer out there.
31.
Not a senior.
We have Agent Zero, John Spellers. Yep. And The Truth.
The Truth is out there.
Josiah
Logan
Permel.
Lopez out there.
Double L.
The football player is out there as well. Joseph Gray, number 21.
Yeah, we got the real.
The Dinger. The Dinger's out there. Going to run down there and ding the bell.
I think we have all senior kickoff team.
Yes. Spencer's not, but otherwise I think everybody would
Correct,
be. Brian Pantoja is out there. Mm-hmm. He's been running down on kickoff since his freshman year. So there is a short kick.
Get there.
Fielded by number 5 at the 25. And handled by the Truth. Right at the 26.
Wow.
Lynham, the Truth, and Pantoja all teaming up on that tackle. That kickoff return was Antonio Yanez. Yanez, actually, I saw him. He had a punt return for a touchdown against Taft.
Dolphin D takes
against
the field.
Brooks. I think he got called back. Yep, go ahead.
52 M.J. Woods, 0-0 John Spellers. Looks like we have Dylan Pericini in. 52 with a great spike It was way better than Max's spike against Amundsen last
Absolutely.
time. That thing went 30. I mean, he got his money's worth.
Yep. Smith Beeson, quarterback for Amundsen. Reggie Mitchell running back to his left. That's Mitchell, all Chicago Public League running back. We are probably going to talk about him a lot tonight. He's got the ball. He's trying to get the corner. Picks up a few. Tackled over there by Joseph Gray, football player.
Yeah, all 4 linebackers. Really, we haven't seen that from Coach OD's defense yet this year.
So pickup of
I saw Coach OD down at the Buckeye Illini game, and I saw Baby OD and Mrs. OD.
Yeah,
it was great to see him down there.
I heard Baby OD needed to get dialed in a little bit before.
Baby
OD
was a little. I think he's
hungry. He was looking for.
Hungry.
He wanted to do a keg stand.
He saw the Guinness. He's like, I want some of that. That's in my DNA, and his parents wouldn't give it to him.
All right.
3 months old.
Beeson, the quarterback. Actually, looks like, so Mitchell is either he's in the slot or he's out of the game. Yeah, Mitchell is the lined up in a tight end position. Orbit, motion, give to keeper by Beeson. Beeson getting the legs going. Yep. Look like spellers in the bottom of that pile. So I'll say the game against the playoff game, there was a lot of those kind of runs that Mitchell was doing. Elmer Jacob, their quarterback from last year, where they just get in there, they pick up 3 or 4, and they control the ball and keep the chains moving. Now, we're only a minute and 45 seconds into this game, so let's. I won't start hitting the panic button yet, but they're definitely taking their time. I could see that being a game plan tonight. Try to control the ball.
Yeah, they're on their 3rd play, and we're 2 minutes into the game.
Rios, the running back, to Beeson's left. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Waiting, taking a long time, changing the play at the line of scrimmage.
How long's the play clock here?
Dolphins bunched up. Beeson getting it out in a hurry.
Woo! All right.
Sails it over the head.
We needed that. He was open.
So Beeson trying to get out there to Seifert. That brings up 4th down. It looks like they're going to punt. 4th and call it a 1.5 yards. They do have the wind behind them. Bennett DuRoss, I would back up a little bit. I think that these guys can hammer the ball.
That American flag behind the goalpost, you can see that. It's really almost straight horizontal.
Mitchell, the up back, I guess, watch for that too. Going to kick it away. High punt, angling off to the right-hand side, out of bounds.
Good field position for the Dolphins.
That was Smith Beeson actually punting.
And then 33 Baller.
All right,
is into the game for the 2nd time. He played a couple plays last year, but he'll be our starting tight end for this evening.
Yeah, looks like Ben Miller in at tackle again. So rolling, it looks like rolling with that starting offensive line from last week. Big Country Alex Oshesky at the center. MJ Woods and Paracchini at the guards. Logan Jones holding down the left tackle position. Ben Miller, 56 on his jersey, 36 on his ACT score, is the right tackle. Warner lined up to Vaughn Conrad's right. 3 receivers in a bunch formation to the right. Looks like Bardsma to the top. VK5 waiting for the snap, pitches it over to Warner.
Warner, get the corner, Warner.
Nice block by Ben Miller. Warner across the 40. Nice gain on first down.
First play. He says to the Viking, do you remember me running to the right?
Got to it. Nice block by Ben Miller. So again, first possession was a 3 and out. 3 and out for the
6-yard gain.
Amundsen. Whitney Young taking over at the 35.
So nice to see 33 Baller healthy and out there.
Scott Meir. Conrad looking for Scott Meir. Now Conrad on the run. Just throw it away, Vaughn. Throw it away.
Wow.
Yeah, couldn't get out of his hands. Huge sack. That was Grant Morgan.
Shot out of a cannon. I think Vaughn was thinking he had. Wow, that was a nice play by the safety.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Morgan. I think Morgan, number 12. I think he might be outside. Might be a linebacker.
Yeah.
I think he's in that either middle or outside linebacker position. But yeah, you made a nice close on that. That ball was at the 40, and it's all the way back to the 25-yard line. So 15-yard loss on that play. Bringing up 3rd and a long, long way. Again, Dolphins will be into the wind. Talked about how they've only punted twice this year, but if they don't get a first down here, they'll be looking to do that. Just going to give it off to Warner. Warner tackled immediately. Loss of 2 or 3 on that play. Looks like Reggie Mitchell. Mitchell also playing defense, playing an edge. Got in there right off the get-go.
Dolphin punt team. Brian Pantoja, double L Logan Lopez for Jacob Wildermuth. 3rd punt of the year.
All right, so I also say this. I saw a blocked punt from Amundsen. Looks like they have a safety on here, so it doesn't look like they're lined up for a block, but they had a block against Brooks. Miller waiting for it. It looks like either there was, it looks like a false start. So false start going to back up the Dolphins another 5 yards here.
We're just going to warm our brains up with a little math, Barry. We're 4th and 27.
Yeah. So this will be, if Sean Miller can get it out to the 50, that's where the
good
nice punt.
Good punt.
Hammered it. Let's see if we get a good roll. Nice roll. Ball goes right to the 50.
Wow.
So nice job by Sean Miller getting that away. Again, they have some. Pablo Bombay was back deep. They've got some.
They have some fun names.
Yeah, they definitely do.
Pablo Bombay.
Bombay, I saw make a bunch of nice tackles in both the Taft and Brooks games.
So linebackers, Joseph the football player, Gray. 11, Rizgod, Rayton Scottmere. Corners, Max Warner, number 1. Big play Barsma, number 2. Safeties, Sheldon Williams. And Bennett Duras.
So we saw Reggie Mitchell on that first carry, but looks like Rios is the running back again next to
Check
Beeson.
that. Nevin Hinkle, 26, safety.
There's the give on the inside. Nice job. John Spellers, Agent Zero, getting in there in a hurry. We'll see what we have on the flag. It came out right away.
A little face mask?
It might have been a face mask. It seems like it would be a little quick for a face mask on the Dolphins. So nice play going to be wiped out by that face mask, and it's going to move the ball into first down territory and into Dolphins territory. Not sure if that was Spellers that got a little bit of that hardware as he was making that immediate move into the backfield.
I mean, it's right there. Just it wasn't that bad. You have to tackle him somehow.
That's right. Okay, so again, we're not seeing Mitchell on the field, but we're seeing Rios and Vikings into Dolphins territory at the 35. 6:45 left here in the first quarter. Vikings definitely taking their time. There's Rios on the carry, shoots off.
Looks good.
First down, still on his feet. I think Maxwell Warner is down there trying to wrestle in, but that was a big-time run by Rios. Found a crease and took off inside the 10-yard line.
No, that was the question coming into the game there. Are we going to see the Amundsen team from the regular season or the Amundsen team from the playoffs? And this seems to be playoff Amundsen.
Yeah, it certainly does. Again,
fighting hard.
Vikings come in at 3-4, but a lot of those losses came before Beeson was back as their starting quarterback. So Smith Beeson, quarterback. He's got two receivers to his left along with a tight end. Jose Rios next to him in the backfield. Very deliberate, taking their time, the Vikings. Rios now moving over to Beeson's left. And they're just letting this clock wind. They're going to take it down to the last second on the play clock. There's the give to Rios. Nice tackle. MJ Woods,
the ball,
closing in from the backside there.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be pretty key to hold them to a field goal here if we can. Field goal attempt.
Yep, it's a ball at the 6-yard line. 2nd and goal. You see a lot of different guys. So Jasper Carlson, number 10, is out there. Again, Carlson had that big overtime touchdown last year. He's the receiver on the far left. Looks like Yanez in the slot. Mitchell back in there. So now Mitchell is to the left of Beeson. One receiver to the top. Beeson waiting for the snap, taking it down. Inside give, trying to get to the corner. He's got the corner. That's Rios. So that was Rios running from his running back, but he was lined up in the slot, came over on the jet sweep, and is in for a 6-yard touchdown. Amundsen on the board here, 4:29 left. I'm going to have to do a little bit of...
Yeah, it's at the ball at the 50. That first penalty gave him 15 yards, another 20 or so on the second run. So that's Amundsen came to play. Extra point is good, and they kicked it like 1 billion yards. So they have some good kickers, as you pointed out, Barry.
And the extra point is good.
And I do have to wonder, as we have the first of all, shout out to the listeners out. We have some my former colleagues are listening in. We're trying to market to a younger audience. So I have some 20s and 30 something are listening in. We have Tyler Borzak out there, the Polish gunner, is a former colleague of mine. Jim Lowry, Matt Okevich. Shout out. They're at a happy hour, Barry, with this on in the background. These are kids in their 20s. So
love it. Well,
we have listeners in Asia, Norway, of course. Poland is our second biggest country out there.
All right, we are having some technical difficulties with the scoreboard, so I'm not sure that we're going to be able to get the score on the board right now. I'll try to get to that later.
Dolphins kick return includes 20, senior the Dinger. I saw his fat head, and they have the Dinger on a headband. Looks pretty cool.
So 7-0. Warner back deep. That ball's heading toward Warner.
Go Max.
Warner collecting it inside the 5. Woo! He's got a seam if he can get through there. Still on his feet. Across the 30 to the 35. Woo! Finally dragged down there.
Big return for the Dolphins. Maxwell Warner.
Good job by Maxwell Warner. That was a deep kickoff. Again, wind behind. Looked like Yanez made the tackle. Let's see if the Dolphins, after a good first down run by Warner last time they had the ball, then a big sack on Vaughn Conrad. And again, I think that might quite honestly be the first sack of the season that the UN security force has given up. And a little bit of that was also just Vaughn trying to buy a little extra time. Here's Bardsma in motion. Bardsma with the ball. Bardsma trying to get to the corner. Nothing there, though.
Yeah. Huh.
Nothing going. He was trying to get to the corner, but nice job by William Allegria. We're going to call it Allegria. So Allegria just held his position.
He really did. Yeah, Miles usually has enough speed to get the corner. Yeah. It was just step for step.
And big loss on that. So all the way back to the 31-yard line. Looks a loss of about 8 on that play. 2 receivers top and bottom. There's Scott Meir in motion. So they're trying to set up the middle screen, but the pressure was in Conrad's face. He just had to throw it away. Threw it at the feet of Maxwell Warner. That was, let me try to get his name correct this time around. I'm going to have to bring my play sheet out here again, but that was number 53, William Allegria. I'm going to call him Allegria. I hope he doesn't have that many plays because I'm not sure I'm getting his name correct. 3rd down and long. Dolphins would need to get it all the way out to the 48-yard line. And offense has, early on here, second possession. Going with the pony backfield, Warner and Gray sandwiching Conrad in the backfield. Kunle Espinosa Allen. There's a Conrad going to keep it. Not anything going on. He's hammered in there. Mitchell as well as
I like what Coach Eddie is thinking. Or get 21 football player involved. Offensively, say his junior year, he really excelled. And this year with some other players stepping up, maybe this is a night where 21, the football player, gets involved on the offensive side.
Reshoft was in on the tackle. Bombay back to receive this punt again. Dolphins into the wind, and I think Amundsen also just going to take advantage of being in the wind. They're working the clock right now. Bombay back to the 40. Sean Miller had a nice punt his first time, 30 yards into the wind. Good snap. Rushes on. High punt. High but short. This ball's going to hit at the 40. Going to bounce. Favorable Dolphin bounce. Gets it just inside the 50-yard line. So Vikings going to be back on the field with a 7-0 lead. Again, Rios on a run, a 6-yard run.
Pretty good punts by Ninja Sean Miller. This wind is really, really whipping. Hopefully we get the ball. We'll have it in our favor second and fourth quarters.
So 2:29. Again, yeah, I don't want to have to restart everything here, so we may just have to live this game without a scoreboard up there. So we'll just try to remind everybody. 7-0 right now, Amundsen. 2:29 left. Smith Beeson, the quarterback for the Vikings. He's got Rios, who's got a touchdown and a nice run. Rios got that last drive started with about a 30-yard run, pushing inside the 10-yard line. So two receivers and tight end to the top. Beeson, again, taking that play clock all the way down. Give to Rios. Rios with a head of steam. He's going to pick up about 8 right through the middle. Hinkle and Joseph Gray in on the tackle.
Yeah, Amundsen sending a message early. This is going to be a chin strap game for our Dolphins.
Yeah, so good size. Looks like some good size on that offensive line for the Vikings. Like William Medina out there at number 70. So we've seen a healthy dose of Rios. We were talking about Reggie Mitchell on the open as the Chicago Public League returning all-city running back, but we've seen more of Rios than Mitchell. Second and about, call it 3. Got 7 on that first down carry. Rios with it again. He's picking his way and keeps his feet going. Gets a push from some friends and across the 40 out to about the 36-yard line. First down for the Vikings. Lynham going to come out. This might be something where the Dolphin defense needs to go a little heavier here. Spellers, MJ Woods on the D-line.
Yeah, we haven't seen
out there
our D-line pushed around that much this year.
The one thing Amundsen did in that game, and I'll have to look, I mean, they're definitely keeping a tight end in from a blocking perspective. Trying to get helmets on helmets here. Beeson, again, taking that clock all the way down. Beeson back to pass, little inside screen pass. Heck of a play by Rios. That was just lobbed up there. MJ Woods, Scott Muir were in the vicinity of that. So it was completed, but yeah, that's, now what we've seen so far, that conversation about turnovers being really important here. That one was in harm's way, but Rios went up and one-handed it, was able to bring it down. So second down, pickup of 3, maybe 3.5 on that play.
Yeah, only 20 seconds left in the quarter. We'll see if they even want to run a play.
Might just with, doesn't look like they're pushing the ball downfield. And keeping those tight ends in. 2 tight end lineup. Now they bring in a bunch formation on the right-hand side. Rios to the left of Beeson. And, yep, they take it all the way to the end of the first quarter. So end of first quarter here.
Yeah, the wind's playing a big factor here on the west side of Chicago. The Dolphins will have it at our backs in the second quarter. Seven nothing Amundsen. I always wondered who would win in a fight between a Viking and a Dolphin.
Well, I guess that's all about where that's occurring, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I give the Dolphin the advantage if it's in water.
If it's in the ocean.
Right, if it's in the ocean.
Yeah.
I mean, Vikings are skilled, but usually on top of the water, right?
They are, right, right.
Yeah. Now, again, they definitely have maybe an advantage in opposable thumbs.
I think they do. Yeah, people are always saying how smart dolphins are. Then how come they get caught in those tuna nets all the time if they're so smart? But our Dolphins are smart, and they are on land, and we're gonna step it up here.
Yeah, Dolphins. This is other than the Morgan Park game. This team has not trailed at all this year. So we'll see if going into the wind. I think Amundsen's got a game plan here. I think it's going to be largely keeping the ball on the ground and largely going late into the play clock when the clock is running. Yeah, there's an orbit screen.
Both our outside linebackers
give
walk
to Rios.
Nice
job, MJ Woods. The Bull Woods on senior night. Senior captain bringing down Rios.
Cleaned up by the truth. So that we have a 5-man front now. So our 3D linemen, both rightly so, both outside linebackers right on the line of scrimmage.
So that was a big play, and that's what you got to start. You got to start throwing those in the mix right now, getting those tackles for loss. MJ came in leading this team in sacks and tackles for loss on the season. Again, MJ 8.5 tackles for loss. Give it 9.5 on that. He had that big touchdown last week. We'll talk more about MJ and his career here. 4-year starter for the Dolphins. MJ had a birthday last week as well, turning 17.
Wow, which is, MJ was 16, having all those sacks.
Yeah, yep. Wow. And he was 13 when he started at left tackle. So a little change right there. I like that. That threw Beeson
off. Big-time hole.
Yep, and the flag came out, and then hammered down out of bounds by Spellers. So that was right at the end of that play. Logan Lopez jumped out in coverage, and I think that's where Beeson was looking. That was his primary read. He lost that, then scrambled to the right, and then you're right. There was a holding. So I think you want to probably take this hold. I mean, the holding was all the way back here
with the
in
wind,
the backfield, so maybe back him up 10 yards. We'll see what Coach Finger wants to do. I mean, it would be, I guess it would be 4th down. Declined 4th down. Yeah, okay. We'll go with that. I think that's the thing to do. They probably, I'm guessing they're going to go for it here. I'm absolutely certain they'll go for it here. So we'll see if that pays off. Defense has looked good these last couple plays here. Spellers had some really nice pressure on that first drive, but there was on the second drive, but there was a face mask penalty. We'll see if this defense can close it out here. 2 running backs, both Rios and Mitchell in the backfield for Smith Beeson.
Dolphins showing blitz.
Beeson, single receiver to the top.
Here they come.
He's going to close it.
Get home.
Good job, MJ Woods and Logan Lopez. Double L. Sack all the way back to the 50-yard line.
That's some field position.
MJ Woods with the pressure. Logan Lopez. Lopez, another one of those seniors that came in with 4 sacks. Give him 5 now. And puts the Dolphins in advantageous field position. So Amundsen, as they should, going on 4th down there. Beeson gets sacked. We've seen a couple long sacks already in this game. Dolphins going to take over.
Yeah, Amundsen is really feeling the momentum there, and we stopped it.
Yeah, that was a big time stop by the Dolphins. The referees are calling a timeout, trying to communicate something up here to the control tower, I think.
I think they put a little bit more time on the clock.
Okay, I think maybe they had kept the clock running after that, and it was a change of possession, so the clock was stopping. So 10 minutes up on the clock, 7-0. Amundsen over Whitney Young here. Again, our scoreboard is not working, so we'll just try to give you that score on an ongoing basis. There's Conrad keeping it. Conrad looking deep. He's got a guy wide open. Clayton Scottmere down to the 5-yard line.
Number 11, the Riz God.
And that was a dime dropped by Conrad. Conrad rolling out. He threw that thing from about the 45. Hit Scottmere down about the 15-yard line. Big time pitch and catch from the senior combination. Rizgod hauling it in. Good concentration on that. He made a nice move. Blew by the defender.
Great. That
first and goal at the 5.
Seemed to be in the air for like an hour.
Low snap.
Go Max.
Max trying to keep his feet. Just getting hammered in there. No gain on the play. So been tough sledding so far. Warner had a nice first down carry on the first possession, but been tough for him since then. Again, definitely some size. Amundsen rolls out a lot of different guys. In watching the game against Taft, they were going with more of a speed offensive or defensive line, not as much size.
They got some beef in there.
They definitely have their run defense in right now, trying to stack it up in the middle. See what the Dolphins can dial up here.
Dial up, played a big play, Barsma.
Got Williams, Scottmere in motion. Give to Warner. Warner to the corner. Warner to the end zone. Touchdown for the chosen one. So nice job off the left-hand side of that offensive line. He had the 2 wide receivers over there giving help on the blocks. Ben Miller. Logan Jones, at that left tackle position. So Dolphins on the board. Warner touchdown run. Now the all-important special teams. Yoni Luze in for the extra point. 10 of 11 for the year.
Dr. Yoni Luze. High snap. No problem.
Dr. Conrad put that thing down. Nicely done. So Dr. Edwards to Dr. Conrad. Dr. Luze hammers it home. We got a tie game, 7-7 here with 8:46 left in the second quarter.
I don't know about you. I was getting a little nervous there, Barry. It reminded me a little bit too much of that semifinal from last year.
I mean, I think I got a feeling all week that this is going to be a football game. And just, again, watching the last couple games that we had on tape, I also had the feeling. So I send an email to the opposing coaches on Monday usually, and I ask for a roster, and I asked for any highlights that they want to share from their team. And Coach Olson verified right away. He's like, yep, our lineup is correct, on our roster's correct on Max Preps. And he said, I don't really have much to say for this season. And I thought right off the bat, that dude is trying to bait us here. Because Coach Finger has copied on those messages too. And I just thought, hey, this guy is he's trying to get us into a trap game here, because I think this is a pretty good Vikings team. Again, Warner into the end zone. I think the ball just blew off the tee. That is Warner's 13th touchdown rushing on the season.
Dolphin kick team includes Kendall Lynham, 42, Brian Patoya, 4, Jacob Oldermuth, 4, Brian Patoya, 8. The Truth and Agent 0. There's a shot.
There's the line shot with the wind behind him. Ball is rolling across the Eisenhower right now. So Barsma puts it in the end zone. Amundsen going to take over here at the 20. Again, Amundsen, they've had first drive they were 3 and out. They elected to punt on about 4th and 1.5, but their defense has been playing well. Second possession, it's where they got a big run from Rios, and then Rios in the end zone from 6 yards out. And then their last possession, where they had nice field position, big sack on 4th down by Logan Lopez, put the Dolphins in advantageous field position. Long pass to Scottmere completed. Warner in the end zone. We're tied up 7-7, 8:46 left here in the first half. Vikings moving some guys around here. Kendall Lynham in the game at corner. Looks like Max Warner out right now. Barsma in single coverage to the top. There's a quick pass out to the side. Didn't have the right combo there.
Yeah, Coach OD, to your point, Barry, has shown some nice deception there, especially 9 Logan Lopez, the man with the big sack, is falling in and out of coverage.
Yeah. So the one thing that the Vikings have the last couple of years when we watched them and watched them on tape as well, they try to get the ball out. They try to do a lot of these little wide receiver screen passes. There looked like they were a little confused because it looked like Wyatt Perry was thought he was blocking, and I think Smith Beeson thought he was throwing the ball. Goes incomplete. So 2nd and 10. Ball at the 20.
Yeah, getting the Vikings into passing situations is key.
Exactly. Rios, Mitchell in the backfield. Beeson checking his wristband. That's Rios in motion.
Lopez.
Pass over there. Great job. Great call, man.
He knew the play.
Yep.
Double L.
Logan Lopez was watching for that screen pass over on the side to Rios and got him, nabbed him for a 3-yard loss on the play. Logan Lopez, senior, 5'11", 176 linebacker, came to play tonight. 5 sacks, second tackle for loss.
He really did. He just disrupted a pass earlier in the game, key to the drive. Then the big sack, and then a tackle for loss. And his parents have a boat. They're awesome. Yeah.
How does that fit? I mean,
this kid, I'm just saying how great this kid is.
Yeah. What more could you ask for?
Yeah. Number 9.
Parents have a boat.
It's awesome.
3rd and 13. Mitchell in the backfield next to Beeson. And you're right, get him into a passing situation. Mitchell now in motion. Beeson back to pass. Woo! Wings it across the middle. Nothing going there. I think they was trying to get it to Rios in the middle. Good pressure again. They was trying to set up that screen, but blown up. MJ Woods in there. Now the Vikings get the punt into the wind. That is Beeson as their punter. Always something of note when the quarterback is the punter.
I would say
DuRoss, you can move up here.
You can move up.
Yeah, DuRoss is across the 50 right now. But
15 yards.
And I mean, we have seen Beeson nailed a good punt to start with. Whistles on the play. I don't think we have a flag. We're just checking something out with the referee crew right now.
Dolphin punt return team in.
I think they're going to change the spot of the ball, maybe. Yeah, well, that's true because they were lined up on that far hash, and that was an incomplete pass.
Good observation by the line judge.
I don't know if we have Danico Fox out there. He's got a block punt earlier this year. Beeson waiting for the snap. Good snap. Came in. Hurry. Wow. Ball off the side of his foot. And goes out of bounds. We'll see where they're going to mark it. I don't think that referee is even going to move. It's going to be at the 24-yard line.
Was only 30 yards back from where that punt went.
That thing came off the side of Beeson's foot. It looked like he was trying to, he was moving to that side, maybe like a quasi Aussie-style kick, and just came off the side of his foot, giving the Dolphins big-time field position deep in Vikings territory at the 24-yard line.
33 baller. Ayakunle Espinoza Allen in at our tight end.
Give to Warner. Warner trying to get to the corner. Again, that was number 12, Grant Morgan, making a nice play. There have been a lot of tackles for loss on both sides. Warner just tough sled, man. Tried to go between the tackles, not much doing there. Trying to go outside, not much doing there. This might be a game where you want to try to get Warner a swing pass to the outside. I mean, that's what the Vikings have been trying to do to get their running backs the ball. Might be riding on the arm of VK5 right now. Von Conrad, again, senior quarterback, coming in. 17 touchdowns on the year. Over 2,000 yards passing for his career, Conrad. 2 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Give to Warner. Warner there, he gets a little bit of positive yardage across the 30-yard line to about the 28.
Yeah, tough sledding on the ground so far for the Dolphins. Which makes sense because they live in the ocean.
Yeah, right. I mean, you try to run around with those flippers.
But they can't jump, so I think
that's true.
Air yards coming up.
Wind behind us. I wasn't watching. We were watching the Vikings kicker. I mean, we're definitely out of field goal range right now, unless you're an NFL kicker. Alan Espinosa and Williams to the top. Conrad looking that way. Williams running a streak route. Williams out of bounds. So I think he made the catch, but I think the referee down there is saying he was out of bounds. Man, I don't know if anybody was able to see that at home. Williams thought he had it as a nice, great pass, running the fly route down the sideline. Conrad dropped it in there, but referee said that Williams did not get a foot in bounds. That's going to be a big call. So 4th down.
Yeah,
we got a big Dolphin crowd here tonight.
Senior night.
Yeah,
we have
awesome.
our 25 to 31 seniors, however many we have. But we have, a good 300 Dolphin fans here at Rockne Stadium.
House is packed.
Amundsen brought a good crowd.
Dolphins going with pony backfield with Gray and Warner in the backfield. See if they do a little swing pass. Conrad pressured. Conrad brought down, ball out. Reggie Mitchell making that sack. It was 4th down, so that part of it doesn't matter. It looks like they're going to mark it at about the 41-yard line. Conrad got tackled up high on that one, trying to roll to his right, and Reggie Mitchell, the running back / edge rusher, shot in there. Big sack. Amundsen taking over here. Again, 7-7 here in the second quarter. 5:37 left. So Amundsen was a punt, and Whitney Young is a 4-and-out sack by Mitchell. Ball at the 41. So as opposed to last week, we've got quite a few possessions going on here. Amundsen gonna switch out the football, I think, on this. Not quite sure what was going on there.
I think we had one of their balls.
Yeah, it could be. Sometimes got to make sure that everybody's happy with their equipment. Coach Olson ends up with it over on the sidelines. Rios has had the most success as a running back. See if Amundsen tries to start grinding that out again. They tried to get a little fancier the last couple possessions. Maybe go back to the basics here. Smith Beeson waiting for it. Gives it to Rios. Rios off and running. Rios across the 50-yard line. DuRoss in on the tackle along with Spellers. Jacob Wildermuth checking in the game.
Jacob in for the truth. Yeah, again,
Actually, I think they're bringing out Hinkle, so I think they're going to go a little bit bigger on this.
Good point. We're back. We saw this in the first game, the single safety look.
So DuRoss back deep. Single safety. Bringing both outside linebackers on that line, so running with a 5-man offensive line. Scott Meir and football player as the middle linebackers. There's movement. We'll have to see what they're going to call on this. Yep, illegal motion on the Vikings.
I recall it was our first or second game. Coach O.D. said he was going to run with the single safety in preparation for this game. That's so long ago, I'd forgotten it. But that's the defense that we're running now.
I think they've seen that Amundsen, and I've seen them be able to pass the ball. Right now, looks like running the ball is much more successful for them. Again, you have a strong wind out here tonight. We'll see if that changes up their approach. But Wildermuth and the Truth are on the top side of this 5-man, again, 5-man defensive line. See if you can get some pressure if they do try to pass it, get to the quarterback. Smith Beeson back to pass, tries to get it out quickly, does. Good tackle out on the side by Bardsma. Completion over there to Jake Sewert.
Yeah,
Sievert's the sophomore wide receiver.
Nice little pitch and catch for the first down for the Vikings.
Yep, gets a first down. So that's what definitely a chess match going here. When Coach O.D. bring in that 5 defensive linemen, Smith Beeson got a quick hitter over there to Seifert. Seifert, number 19, going to the top of the screen. That's Jasper Carlson. A lot of good Nordic names in here. To the bottom, Rios next to Smith Beeson. Give to Rios.
Nothing.
Good job, Joseph Gray.
The
What is
football
he?
Player.
Football player.
He is Joseph Gray, football player.
So Gray shot in from his inside linebacker position. Got the tackle, no gain for Rios. Ball at the 45-yard line. 3:15 clock running here. 7-7 score. Again, it is senior night, so we're going to get all 384 seniors announced on the field with their parents, their grandparents, their fourth and fifth cousins, all here tonight.
The Gray and Conrad families have 78 people here. Most of them are their kids.
2nd and 10. Beeson looking over. Looks like Coach Olson's going to take a timeout. The only functionality I have on the scoreboard is the timeouts. But you can't even see it. This doesn't matter. I don't know. I'd have to call up Tony McHale. I had this happened earlier when I was logging in, and we lose the scoreboard, and we're not going to get it back. We've got Dolphin cheerleaders here looking precise.
Always looking precise. We have 13 cheerleaders, about 20 cowbells, and 34 seniors tonight, which is a lot more than 3 years ago when there was one.
Well, I mean, there were
1.5.
Jacob Mraz, Alex Dale. Alex Dale again.
Alex Dale was the equivalent of 10.
Yeah,
players.
Absolutely. I mean, he's all-state linebacker, tight end, and big brother to all these guys. Official big brother to Nick Dale, but kind of like has that big brother. Everybody gives him a hard time. He's still. I heard it's so funny because all those guys are still in a fantasy football league. I hear about it from Bennett Newman all the time. But heard Ben Barrett and Solomon Bradley up here trying to. They were talking some trades. So Bennett, you got to get in on the action. They were talking some trades here. All right, big play here. 2:44 left. Dolphins trying to get a stop here at the end of the first half. 7-7 score. Smith-Beeson with Mitchell next to him. That's Rios in motion. Smith-Beeson keeping it. Smith-Beeson gets the outside. Truth taking him down. Actually, that was Max Warner, I think, right? Max Warner.
Yeah, it's a good counteraction, good blocking by the Vikings on the left side.
So that was Warner coming up from his cornerback position. Clock keeps rolling here. 3rd down, 3rd and about a yard. Call it a yard and 4 inches. So Smith-Beeson, and they kind of set that up, right? Because they had Mitchell in the backfield. They had a big run on that jet sweep to Rios earlier. So eyes on the Dolphins went to Rios, and Smith-Beeson kept it himself. He's able to wheel and deal a little bit back there as a quarterback.
Those Norwegians are good at chess.
Mitchell to the right of Beeson. Here comes Rios in motion. Fakes the jet sweep. Maybe he was early. I think that was just all the Vikings were trying to do there was get the Dolphins to jump off sides on 3rd and a yard. Dolphins did not take the bait.
So 1:41 left in the half. 7-7. Whitney Young Dolphins versus Amundsen Vikings. And senior night's coming up, so I'm going to be going onto the field here.
Yeah, that'll be good
in a minute here, Barry.
That's it's tradition as a YouTube live streamers. I started at the first senior day I did. I had just started doing the live stream with Tony, and he had to run down there for Pat McHale, and he's like, "All right, you just handle halftime." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And so I kind of made it up on the fly. Some of those seniors, and I think they had about the same number. They probably had
quite a
10, few. Maybe they had more. Maybe they had about 15.
Yeah, that was a great
senior-led class. Your son was part of that class.
Josh Wildern with Pat McHale, Frank the Tank, Scotanis,
Sam
a lot
Wyatt.
of good guys. Sam Wyatt,
Tommy Basario, Neil Rocky. All right, so 3rd and 1. Rios, the running back, next to Smith-Beeson, the quarterback. Beeson going to whip it over here to the side. Completed to Carlson.
Nice tackle.
Good tackle. Joseph Gray
Logan
getting in there. Lopez there to start with, but enough for a first down. So interesting on a 3rd and short. And go with the pass. Again, wind whipping around out here, making it a little bit difficult.
All Dolphin parents make their way to
34-yard line. Clock running.
It'd be nice to stop
1:18.
them here.
Amundsen's used 2 timeouts, so they've got 1 left. They're not moving very fast here. Looks like Coach Olson out on the field.
Is he allowed to be all the way out on the
I'm
field?
not sure. There's a lot of confusion. He's going to have to take he's going to have to take a timeout at some point. They're going to take their 3rd timeout. Mitchell came over. There was not on the same page. 54 seconds left here. Again, 7-7. Rios with a touchdown run for Amundsen. Max Warner, the chosen one, answers it with a touchdown run for Whitney Young. Big play on that drive. Again, senior to senior connection. Vaughn Conrad, senior quarterback captain, dropped one into Rayton Scottmere. Scottmere, again, leading this team with 7 touchdowns.
And then a controversial call on the Sheldon Williams possible touchdown.
Yeah, let's not forget that one.
I mean, Sheldon said he was in, and the player will never admit if they weren't in, from what I know about football.
I think that is correct. But we'll have to see if the huddle cam got any of that action. All right, 1st down, 1st and 10.
Pass.
Pearson back to pass, loops it up deep. He's Rios, but nice coverage by Logan Lopez.
Doing it all tonight.
Lopez, that outside linebacker, big sack tonight already. So the clock stops. That too.
7-7, 48 seconds left in the half.
Good. Dolphins have a
Dolphins
IHSA playoff appearance, 8A playoff appearance clinched, but you want as many wins as you can going into that setup, and it's just it is a demolition derby at the top of the Chicago Public League standings right now as well. So this win is important for them. It's absolutely critical for the Vikings if they want to make the playoffs this year. Beeson waiting for the snap, 2nd and long. That's Mitchell in motion.
Dolphins
Smith,
back in their
Beeson
base
looking at
defense.
both those guys. It's a wheel route. Nice job. Joseph Gray got a hand up there right at the end.
That was there.
That was the wheel route, and Rios was open. So we're seeing a lot of different formations, a lot of different looks. The Vikings are definitely using those 2 running backs. And we've seen some counter plays off of that. Again, you get some guys going in motion. Rios really providing the yin to Mitchell's yang out there right now. I don't know what that means, but
we knew what you meant, Barry. Yeah, it'd be nice to stop them here. They're into the wind, and both touchdowns from both teams have been scored with the wind.
3rd and 10, 2 receivers top, 2 to the bottom. Mitchell to Beeson's left. Olson calling in the play from the sideline. Mitchell yelling it over to the receivers on the right-hand side. Beeson waiting for the snap. He's back. He's looking left. Good pressure. There's Spellers coming to him. Pick! Intercepted! Intercepted by Rayton. Who else? Scottmere.
Woo!
So Scottmere comes up with it. Good pressure on the end of that play by Spellers.
The Norwegian Army knife has seen Vikings before.
Absolutely. He is not intimidated. Actually, I'd say Scottmere played a big part in that playoff game. I went back and I watched the second half of that, and Jolich, who was just running on fumes, Scottmere came in, had some nice plays on defense, but Rayton Scottmere actually completed a pass in that game as well.
I recall that.
Yeah. It was, again, we were kind of struggling on offense, kind of bogging down a little bit. And Scottmere was got the pitch rolling to his left. Lefty winged it out there. All right, we'll see. Dolphins probably taking a conservative approach. There's Maxwell Warner. Warner still on his feet, getting out across the 25-yard line. We'll see if
Dan is going to.
You might take a timeout here.
We have a timeout, Dolphins.
So Dolphins take a timeout. their first. 7-7, 25 seconds left here. Ball just outside the 25-yard line. So long way to go, but Coach Finger might. This is one of those things. It's one of those areas that if you're able to get some yardage here, you're still a long way away, and you just don't want to turn the ball over. Do not want to turn the ball over in this area of the field.
So Brian Miller, the leader of the Nate Diaz Memorial Chain Gang, will be sprinting over here to do the PA announcement. So we're going to time him.
Yeah.
He says he still can run it under 5.
Under 5 hours?
He said under 5:40. I didn't clarify the unit of time.
Two receivers to the top. Bardsma single to the bottom. That's where Conrad's looking. Conrad dots it up to Bardsma. Bardsma trying to get it out of bounds. First down, so clock will stop from that. Coach Finger takes a timeout.
We have a timeout, Whitney Young.
So nice completion. The ball was, I think, again with the wind kind of blowing almost right behind their back. I think Conrad wanted to get that more to the sideline, but still a completion. Again, another senior to senior completion. Bardsma came into tonight 23 catches for 307 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, nice to see that junior to junior connection was key down the stretch. Really big plays in the season, and glad to see that continues to click here late in the year. That was 12-2, and then now it's 5-2.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of growth from those guys through the years. I mean, Vaughn Conrad at quarterback did a nice job last year. Relied a bit more on that running game. Yolich and Warner. Vaughn made some big plays this year. Here. In motion, Scott Meir. Vaughn rolling. Going to get it back to Warner. Warner had a blocker. Warner spun down at the 40-yard line. I think we're going to get a holding call maybe on that. So 10 seconds left here.
Well, I think I'm going to head down for the senior night, Barry.
Enjoy down there, Jack. So Jack will be on the field as well as all of the other parents. It's always a really, really fun event. We've got all of the seniors with their banners up. We thank Tony McHale for all the work he does on the live stream. Got to also thank him for all the work that he does on the banners. It was a little bit easier 3 years ago when there was just 2 or 3 banners to print. Today, yeah, I think we've got like 29 of them. So they're all in front of us here on the east side or west side bleachers. So that was a holding call. Ball moves back to the 20-yard line. Clock is going to start here. I think that the Dolphins actually, well, let's see, I think, so Dolphins do take a timeout with 5 seconds left. A little surprising, but Coach Finger wants to use all of it. It's 7-7 right now. Dolphins, Amundsen in a rock fight. When we look back at that overtime game last year, although some of the players have changed, some of the key players have changed, still a lot of continuity between these two teams. And that game was 7-0 at half, with the Dolphins scoring right before halftime. Luke Yolich scoring a touchdown. And then Amundsen was able to claw their way back in the game. Eventually, in double overtime, the Dolphins won it 23-20 on a BG3 Barry Gordon, the third tip pass that Quinn Duhan intercepted. That was after a Solomon Bradley field goal in the second overtime. So there the clock runs out on the first half. Again, 7-7. We're going to switch into senior mode right now. So as we announce these players, we'll try to give you some of the highlights of their careers, which have been many. So, again, all of these guys out here, I mean, going across the board, you've got a lot of former Chicago Public League. We're going to, I got all the seniors to go through, so then we'll do some JV. We could do it right after that, though, but it'll be, all right. Zaid Abdul Aleem is here to give us highlights on the JV game earlier this week. I think another win for the Dolphins. So we are going to go in inverse numerical order with the captains last. We also have 3 managers, so 3 senior managers. All the players getting out there right now with their families. So I do have a lot of families that are at all of these games, but even more so tonight. There's Brian Miller making his way. Brian, were you under 5 on your 40? You were under 5 on your 40? You can go in, yeah, you can go in up through here. Oh, all right.
I tried to get defensive stats the best I could, so.
Okay, all right. Oh no, you got okay.
There's assists, tackles, and interceptions.
Oh, okay, all right. So I'm going to try to multitask here. Blake just got me some stats as well. Maybe I'll get that to everybody before Coach Finger is down there trying to organize everybody. That's one of these things on senior nights that you don't quite have your normal halftime routine on this. I think it also threw us off a little bit at the early part of the game because Marshall and Orr, I think Marshall's senior night also went on, so they got a late start to their game. And both of these teams were waiting for a long time before that first game was done. Let's look at some stats here. Looks like Conrad 2 for 4 for 58 yards. So that was a big completion, 47-yard completion to Rayton Scottmere. Scottmere again, 1 catch for 47 yards. Bardsma 1 for 11 on the day. So that's your passing stats. Rushing stats, again, it's been a slog out there. So Warner 7 carries, 12 yards, and 1 touchdown. Blake's going overboard here. He's also giving me some defensive stats. Looks like we've got Scottmere already with 3 tackles and the interception. Joseph Gray with 4 tackles. The Truth with 2 tackles. And we know we got a sack out of Logan Lopez and a tackle for loss. Also, MJ Woods with a tackle for loss there in the first half. So those are your stats. Thanks, Blake. That's awesome, man. Appreciate it. Here we have again, down on the field, Coach Finger, getting everybody organized there. We got the non-seniors lined up. So again, 7-7 in this game. Rios with a touchdown run, Warner with a touchdown run. Senior night getting started. So yeah, I think this is my 4th or 5th senior night. Yeah, my 4th senior night. Let's call it 5th. I think 5th, yeah. So always a special night here. And I got to say, I mean, it's been a pleasure watching this program come together. We talk a lot about the 3 seniors in that 2022 season, and to have 29 tonight is a big deal. So they're announcing managers to start with. So Janila Perry, one of the managers, and then twin sisters Robin and Raven Pinkney walking out there.
Thank you to our managers. Now with our senior players.
Now senior players, number 97, Cole Esquivel is starting out. He made an appearance last week at linebacker.
And Jamie Armstrong Esquivel.
So again, part of Cole's part of this team that's won 67% of his games over the last 4 years. Pretty cool. Jonathan E.G. Mockin heading out there, 6'3", 183-pound linebacker, wide receiver, key performer on special teams, 3 special teams tackles last season. Dylan Paracchini coming out, 2-year starter in that UN Security Force. He's seen time over the last 3 seasons. Honorable mention all CPL last season. Aiden Fusi next coming out. Back on Dylan Paracchini, 3rd on the team this season with 6 tackles for a loss, 35 tackles, 10 tackles for a loss last year. Emiliano Bracco coming out next, number 57, 6 foot, 261. He's seen some action the last few weeks. Best facial hair on the team. Ben Miller out next, as we said, 56-year program, 36 on his ACT. Swing tackle this year. He started tonight as well as 3 or 4 other games this year. Again, he's led a nice offensive line. Big Country Oshesky next, number 55. Key contributor on the UN Security Force offensive line. Scored a big man touchdown earlier this year, recovering a fumble in the Perspectives game. Adrian Del Villar coming out next, number 54. Big contributor on the offensive and defensive lines over his career, as well as special teams. 2 tackles for loss this season, 17 tackles last year. Kendall Lynham, we've seen Kendall, one of the cornerbacks, 3rd cornerback on this team, seeing a lot of reps. I think he was the 2nd highest vote getter behind the captains this year, so really, really respected. Ikunle Espinoza Allen, 33 baller, coming out next. Missed a lot of this season with an injury, but we're seeing him out there this year. Fabrizio Bell coming out next. Fabrizio, 6 foot, 162 pounder, special teamer. The Dinger coming out next. Lee Dingfield, Ding the Bell. Mainstay on special teams, key inside linebacker rotation piece this year.
Number 19,
Caden Curran coming up, playing defensive back and wide receiver, 5'11". He's been in that rotation at cornerback and special teams. Yoni Luze coming out next, number 17. So 11 of 12 on PATs the last few weeks. He's been a weapon. Sheldon Williams making the Z great again. Caught touchdown passes in the last 2 season openers. We'll have to get on that tape to see if he got one tonight. Also starting safety, he had an interception against Morgan Park. So Sheldon doing a nice job. Number 14, Devander Shoemaker. Standout on special teams in his last 3 years. Rayton Scottmere coming out next. We've seen a big catch from him, an interception already. Rayton's been making tackles since his freshman year. 4 tackles as a freshman, 14 as a sophomore, 38 last year. We know what he's done offensively so far. Number 9, double L, Logan Lopez. He's had himself a game already tonight. He appeared last year. We had no idea who he was, but he's played a good, big part in this game. Brian Pantoja coming out next. Again, Pantoja is a guy that's been a contributor for all 4 years. Had 17 tackles as a freshman. Bennett Ross coming out, 3rd on the team this year. 10 catches, 145 yards, 3 touchdowns. That great touchdown catch against Morgan Park. Alex Estrella coming out next, number 6. Contributor on special teams. Key fumble recovery earlier this year. Jacob Wildermuth. There we see Jack down there. Jack and Kelly out there. Jacob again. He got the start against Phillips and was the most dominating defensive player on that team. The Truth coming out next. Jediah Purnell. Remember, Josiah threw a touchdown pass last year to Sheldon Williams in that first game of the year and just wanted to get on the field more, and we've seen him do that at outside linebacker this year. Next guy out, Miles, big play. Bardsma leads the team with 23 receptions, 3 touchdowns already on the year. Honorable mention all CPL last year. John Spellers, Big John, Agent Zero, coming out next. He's got that offer from Southern Mississippi. Big plays all year. 46 tackles, 6th on the team, 6 tackles for loss. This year already 4 sacks. Now the captains come out. MJ, the Bull Woods. So again, MJ, he's been starting on this team since he was 13 years old. The Bull, honorable mention all CPL this year. He's got offers at Carthage, Minnesota State, Missouri Southern State. Made a game day visit to Missouri last week. Leads the Chicago Public League in sacks and top 20 in the state right now. Next out, team captain Max Warner. We know all about the chosen one heading to Missouri on a football scholarship. Came in today, 744 yards rushing. He's added to his season total with 13 touchdowns. Vaughn Conrad coming out next. VK5 out there with the Conrad Singers. I'm going to talk more about Vaughn later. 18-2 record as a starter. 2,154 passing yards and 25 touchdowns. Joseph Gray, the football player, last announced tonight. Joseph, again, a guy who's been contributing all 4 years on varsity, team captain this year, second team All-Chicago Public League last year, academic All-State last year, 69 tackles and 4.5 tackles for loss as a freshman, 79 tackles the next year. Last year, he led the team and the state with 161 tackles. He'll end his career with over 400 tackles. Oh, he's also rushed for 250 yards and had 251 receiving yards and 7 total touchdowns. There, my friends, are your soon-to-be class of 2026 seniors. 29 of them on this team. Again, a huge uptick in this program. These guys, let me go back to those stats. I was trying to go through it. I looked this up. Excuse me for a second. So this senior class, again, won the Chicago Public League Championship last year. Runners-up the year before that. Their winning percentage over the last 2 years, .857. And in their 4 years, they've won 67% of their games. So you got all the seniors and their families out there. Getting some photos taken here.
You said it was 29 seniors. When Danny was here, we dressed 40. Yeah, we dressed 40 for varsity. That's insane.
Well, we had 3 seniors 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So huge turnaround. Did you play with him?
So I was a senior his freshman year.
Okay.
But I played with Jordan. I'm only a year younger than Jordan.
What's that?
Jordan, the running
Oh,
back.
yeah, yeah.
I'm only a year younger than him. So I
Okay.
played with him. But I know Danny well because I was a quarterback also. So we practiced together.
Oh, awesome. Well, thanks for being here tonight.
Of course.
So 7-7 halftime. Sorry, I got a heck of a cold that I picked up traveling to New York this week. So I'm trying to rehydrate a little bit here at halftime, and I do want to get to some of the highlights because we got a lot of pretty cool things that we want to talk about here. Mentioned earlier that the flag football team moving on to quarterfinals at state. So they did a nice job this week. Got a win over Oak Park River Forest, 26-12. So they advanced to the quarterfinals. I think that's actually going on tonight. I think it's like a 9 p.m. game. You can actually live stream that if you want to search that up. 9 p.m. versus Antioch. That's live streaming on Huddle. Dee Dudley again leading the way. She's got some crazy numbers. 134 receptions, 1,660 yards receiving with 25 TDs. Georgia Lang at quarterback, 38 touchdown passes and 9 rushing touchdowns. Jemiah Hamilton, and again the girls' game moves fast, and you're able to blitz immediately on the quarterback. Jemiah Hamilton has 65 sacks. Nina Lloyd, 15 interceptions. Kennedy Glover, 14 interceptions. Again, that's a team that finished 3rd in the state last year. We'll see if the Dolphins and head coach Valerie Spann can expand on that this year. Golfing Dolphins, we're talking about girls golfing all year. Nisa Chow-Sawapa, the freshman, was downstate. She finished 48th at the IHSA state meet. She made the cut with a first day 82 and fired a final round of 79. Again, Golfing Dolphins, 5-time defending Chicago Public League champs. Nisha Chow-Sawapa, the freshman, who won at Cities, finished 48th at state. Boys basketball, big thing this week. Marquise Clark, it was decision day a couple days ago. Marquise Clark, top-rated high school point guard in Illinois, is headed to Tennessee. So Clark was one of those guys heavily recruited, heading to Tennessee, continuing that tradition of Dolphins playing at top-level Division I schools. Looking at a few of those guys from the team a few years ago, Dalen Davis is at Princeton. He's been a starter for the Tigers. He was their 4th leading scorer last year, all Ivy League selection last year. You got Xavier Amos also from, I guess, the year before Davis. Amos has actually transferred up to Loyola. He spent the last couple years NIU and last year at Wisconsin. And then A.J. Casey, who started his collegiate career at Miami. The U is now at St. Louis University. So a lot of action there. We'll see that boys team in action soon. Girls team also defending city championship will be in action soon. Volleyball, Chicago Public League champs on to the state tournament. They defeated Hubbard 2-0 on Thursday night, and I think get into state action this weekend. Mentioned last week that girls tennis won the Chicago Public League championships. Girls swimming, I think defending their championship in the pool. Their Chicago Public League championships start on the 18th. And boys soccer, we haven't done a whole lot of soccer updates this year. They've had a challenging year, but riding a 4-game win streak into the state playoffs. They defeated Lincoln Park to take home the Chicago Public League Windy City Cup. That was just last weekend. So, talked about Chicago Public League and the importance of this game. If we look back at last week, some of those big results, we said a few of those games we're going to hold a lot of information. Kenwood 39, Peyton 7. So Kenwood still undefeated. Keontae Lewis is doing it all at Kenwood, that quarterback. So he had 5 touchdown passes in week 6 the week before. Last week against Peyton, he ran for 3 and threw for 2 more. He's got a Kent State offer, but got to think more offers are coming in from Keontae. Don't want to head to Kent State, my friend. Transferred from De La Salle, so he sat out all last year. That's where head coach Chris Goffer had come from. So Lewis following his head coach Goffer to Kenwood. He was 18 for 30 on the day, also threw 2 picks. Kingston Watson, 6 catches, 97 yards and a touchdown. Peyton for the day held to -5 rushing yards, so that Kenwood defense can also throw it out there. Morgan Park, as expected, continued to roll, although that was a game against King. So King came into that game undefeated. Now you just have Kenwood and Morgan Park atop the standings undefeated. Morgan Park also picking up some state votes. They're ranked number 8 at 5A. Nasir Rankin, once a Dolphin, always a Dolphin. Nasir Rankin, again, one of the top 100 recruits in the country heading to Illinois. He had 4 catches, 151 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the day. Darrell Madison ran it back the opening kickoff, 80 yards, also had an interception. Kind of interesting there. We had faced Trenton Hurley as their quarterback, but they've got Ronald Smith Jr. rolling back in at QB. At QB at a couple games earlier in the year. I thought Trenton Hurley looked really good against us. Ronald Smith, 9 of 13 on the day for 275 yards and 2 touchdowns. They were able to hold Jamar Lewis, that sparkling sophomore over at King. He had 55 yards on 21 carries. Other scores from last week, again, the Chicago Public League got a little bit of unbalance. I mean, a lot of talent at the top and some teams struggling a bit. So Simeon 48, Westinghouse 0, Lane 13, Phillips 0, Taft 16, Bulls Prep 6. Lincoln Park 50, Johnson 6. Amundsen, this Amundsen team, talked about a big win over Brooks last week, 42-0. And, of course, Whitney Young won 47-0 over Clark. So we look at this week in the Chicago Public League. In addition to this game, you've got those 2 undefeated teams, Kenwood and Morgan Park, facing off tomorrow at Gately. Also, Morgan Park plays Simeon in Week 9. So Morgan Park, Kenwood in Week 8, Simeon in Week 9, Lane and Westinghouse, Peyton versus King. So there you got two teams at the top. Simeon against Phillips, Taft versus Johnson, Lincoln Park, Bulls Prep versus Johnson, Bulls versus Clark. Zaid, I forgot about you, man. Come on up here. Let's get a quick JV highlight.
Oh, JV? Yeah. Well, you didn't have to.
No. Zaid Abdul Alim going to get on the headset here. We talked to Zaid last week. Got his football story, but he's been broadcasting the JV games. So tell us about this week.
Yeah, well, this week, I don't know if it's their last game. I'm hoping it's not, but on the schedule it is, and they went out with a bang. They played the Curry Condors, commanding win, 34-0. But what I do want to highlight is this game featured 3 quarterbacks, 3 running backs. Guys were playing both ways, multiple ways, and I mean that in that Malachi Martin both scored points as a quarterback throwing a touchdown as well as extra point
nice.
as a kicker. So that just goes to tell you, and since this may be the last one, I told you I had an Oscar speech last time, but I didn't deliver. I'm gonna deliver it this time.
Do it.
So
give it to us.
So we got, as usual, Aiden Zhang leading the charge as QB1, 40 yards. Had some rushing yards, 2-point conversion, passed for 60 yards, 1 touchdown. QB2, Malachi Martin, passed for 50 yards, 1 touchdown. Extra points made as well. QB3, Ian Bigby, passed for 20 yards, 1 touchdown. Catching pass to Amir Johnson, who had 40 yards and an interception. Cam Brown, 2 runs for 45 yards. Danica Fox, 2 touchdowns, ran for 25 yards there, rushed for 55. Mason Abdul-Alim, both ways, a touchdown, 15-yard run, an interception, 2 fumble recoveries, and a strip. Timothy Edwards, PBU, as well as a tackle for a loss. We got AJ with authoritative tackles, Ryan Jones, 1 interception. I've been calling his name a lot. Leo Galeta, tackles for losses. I also want to shout out Eli Sharir, Hunter Smith, who ran for 25 yards and caught one from Ian Digby. Jameer Spencer, 2 tackles authoritatively. Chris Latham, a PBU. Yeah, and I could go on and on. But
how many did they score? Like 90 points?
Hey, let's just put it this way: the Condors didn't get out of their territory the whole game, and every time you thought they were making a push, the defense of the Dolphins would come up with an interception, a fumble, a strip, and just laid it on offense as well, both in the air and on the ground. I mean, it was a well-coached game. Like I said, multiple players, multiple positions. Everyone showed up and took advantage of their opportunity.
And so you're relatively new to the Dolphin football family, and so I think that the numbers that we're seeing, and I mean, it used to be JV games were a train wreck, honestly,
right.
and just because the numbers weren't there, and you had a lot of these guys. So MJ Woods, I want to talk about MJ Woods a little bit. Senior. So MJ Woods had a birthday last week.
Okay,
he turned
birthday.
17.
Okay.
Right? MJ Woods was the starting left tackle when he walked in as a freshman, as a 13-year-old in the Chicago Public League, playing against grown men.
Well, that's a testament to him. But yes, I see your point. I see your point.
Now, I think the evolution of all of this stuff is that, before we've seen it, especially on the offensive line. MJ's played 4 years. We had 2 guys that graduated last year, Nick Dale and Juan Cepeda, who also are 4-year starters. So you saw those guys grow up. I mean, they definitely took some lumps on the field, but you saw them grow up. I think now what's interesting is that with all these seniors this year, and really when we went through that list, all those guys are contributing in offense, defense, special teams. There's going to be a big changeover next year, but to hear that what's going on at the JV level is really good. I mean, I definitely know that there's a lot of skill position guys, and we've seen some of those guys playing on special teams here. That's going to be impressive. So, going to be fun, going to be a big change. I will say the other thing on the JV schedule, like you said, that's the last one on the schedule. there's always a mystery one that sort of pops up at the end of the year. They're always trying to, and I think it's just one of these things where you know, Coach Finger will be in touch with other teams, and if there's interest, they might put together another one as well.
Well, I just want to shout out Finger and the staff for, even though this is my first year, I can just tell the growth of the program has just been amazing. I interviewed Alexia, who's a manager. She's a junior, and she just talked about how the staff, the managers, is 8 managers now, going on 12. And when I asked her about JV, she said, "Oh, they're looking great." And you could just see in her eyes that, you know, this is something that she's excited about. And like I said, or like you said, the program has grown, and the JV team is right behind the varsity, chomping at the bit to get in there.
Before you go, Mason Abdul-Alim, he filled up the box score. Did you look back at any of your stuff? Did you ever have that many different areas of contribution? I mean, you play at the D1 level. You probably did.
No, but he's special, man. He's faster than I was. I will give him that. And he's definitely he's got, on defense, he's showing up as well as on offense.
All right, so before we get Jack back on here, just because Mason Abdul-Alim is back with Max Warner for the kickoff, I'm going to keep you on the headset. See if this ball heads his way.
Man. Don't do this to my son.
Well, I mean, let's just see. Let's see how it plays out. I mean, there's no downside to this at all. Yeah, Warner had a nice kickoff return.
This is one of those.
Oh yeah, this is a football game.
This is a meaningful game too. So,
this is a football game. But I want to see Mason Abdul-Alim. I always say it's nice he's wearing those green gloves, so I can see where he is.
For,
Warner had a nice kickoff return earlier. There's a squib kick.
Okay.
Going to be picked up by Joseph Gray. Joseph Gray going north and south. Getting across the 42-yard line for Gray right here. That's a good start to the first half. Zaid, thank you, my friend.
That's my contribution. All right.
There you go.
Thanks.
You got us a good kickoff return to start. And we're going to get Jack Wildermuth back on the headset. Jack, how was senior day down there on the field?
It was pretty amazing. It's as you know, it gets to be a little sentimental earlier in the year than a lot of seniors on this great October night, but really well done. There were somewhere between 20 and 70 seniors on this team, and Coach Finger.
Low snap, Warner on his feet. Warner,
Max,
still on his feet, working to the outside, across the 50, out to the 45-yard line.
No, that was the Coach Finger talked to the parents and the kids, said this was great. Now let's go win this football game was the final message, and I think the seniors were fired up to go do that.
That was Pablo Bombay finally getting Warner down. Warner getting loose. He's got a touchdown in the first half, but otherwise tough sledding. Again, 7 carries for 16 yards in the first half. You got a bunch of them there, though, probably 16. Conrad, low snap. I think that they're going to say that Conrad's knee was down.
I think was down. So, yeah, we saw Josh Wildermuth, Jacob's older brother. So with the Wildermuth brothers, the Barsma brothers are in effect. The Dale brothers. I missed one, the Lopez brothers. So there's double L Logan Lopez and freshman Lucas Lopez.
See, I didn't ask that question. I've seen Lucas's name on there, so that's awesome.
The great family with the boat.
Yeah, they have like a couple boats, don't they?
They have several boats. A bunch of great kids. Not as many kids as the Conrad.
They've got
a lot of kids.
2 receivers top, 2 to the bottom. Another low snap. Conrad gets it out there to Bardsma. Bardsma with a nice move.
Play.
Gets it back to across the original line of scrimmage. Picked up about 5 on that play.
And I talked to Agent Zero's dad, John Spellers, and Agent Zero's grandmother passed recently. She went to several games over the years, always with a big smile. So R.I.P. to Mrs. Mom Spellers / Grandma Spellers.
All right, thanks, Jack. 3 receivers to the left. Bardsma single to the top. There's Scott Muir in motion. Conrad with some time. Conrad puts it. Yeah, he got the wind behind him on that. He's trying to get it over there to big play Bardsma. So that's going to bring up 4th down. 4th down and 10. Looks like the punting unit is going to come on. So a couple good punts in the first half for Sean Miller.
I think the Ninja with the win can put this one in the end zone.
Yeah, let's see if the Ninja can knock it out inside the 10.
Ooh, how about that?
That, I think, is what we want. I think this is a bit of a field position battle we have going on. Again, 7-7. Our scoreboard is out, but we'll keep the action on the field in play. Miller, good snap from Edwards. Miller, line drive, but that's going to give his friends a chance. That ball is rolling down. Down inside the 5-yard line.
Even better.
That was Tim Edwards, the long snapper. Ben
Hustle
Barrett
down.
always liked to do that too, getting down there. We talked to Ben Barrett on the open of this.
He did. That 17 and 3/8 star long snapper still might play in college, I understand.
Yep, he's got a workout coming up in a couple weeks down at Elon. Actually, we talked about it on the open when you were on. Aaron Champion, who had a big play against Amundsen, also playing at the collegiate level. We haven't talked about that this year. He's playing at Rhodes University in Memphis.
Oh, it's a beautiful campus. Good for number 4.
Yeah. All right, ball backed up. Beeson in his own end zone. He's got Rios next to him. 2 receivers to his left. Rios now to his left. Tight end to the right. Dolphins, 5-man front. Looking to get some pressure on. Beeson pulls it. Almost picked off.
Oh.
Trying to get it out there to one of the Wyatts, I think. Yep, Wyatt Perry, senior wide receiver. Wyatt Kelly, also a big contributor on this team. So,
Coach O.D. dialing up the Dolphins' base defense again, a 3-4. The linebackers are Josiah Purnell, the truth, got a big ovation. Double L, Logan Lopez, 9. Football player, 21. And the Norwegian Army knife made in China. Also, he is a zombie. The Riz Zombie is his new nickname. I saw his parents.
Riz Zombie.
The Riz Zombie.
Is that okay?
11.
We'll have to get into that a little bit later. 3 receivers to the top for Beeson. Warner in man-to-man coverage. Ball is completed, but nicely stacked up over on that side. I think he got Joseph Gray, football player, and the truth in on the tackle.
Big play here. If we can hold him to a punt, that would be
pickup of about 3, I think, maybe a little more than that. Need to get to the 14-yard line for a first down. Ball at the 7.5. 3rd down. Big play here for the Dolphin defense. Rios, the running back, next to Beeson. 3 receivers to the top. Bardsman single coverage to the bottom. Beeson taking that play clock down. Going to look over to Rios. Oh!
Logan Lopez was right there.
But Lopez almost got himself a pick 6. This is going to be close. They're going to move the chains. That was a really tight pitch and catch. I think it was to Shea O'Connor over there.
I think it went straight through his hand somehow.
Lopez has had a game already. That would have been a big one. Still backed up here. 9 minutes left. 7-7. Smith Beeson, the quarterback for the Vikings. They got some stuff going with Rios early as the running back. We haven't seen as much of Reggie Mitchell tonight as we thought we would. Rios, the running back, next to Beeson. Rios with the handoff. Rios breaking off a nice first down run. Tackled by Nevin Hinkle and Scottmere on that. So Dolphins going to rotate in some fresh bodies on that defensive line. Big Country Oshesky and Logan Jones, along with Spellers. Amundsen, that ball started at their 4-yard line. They've got it out to the 27. Big first downs, 2 first downs for them, one on the pass from Beeson, and now a Rios run. Mitchell checks back in at running back. 2 receivers and a tight end to the top side. Mitchell seems like he's having a conversation with Beeson. There's Rios in motion. Beeson gonna keep it. Picked his way nicely outside. Max Warner with the tackle. Hinkle also in on that, but I thought that we were going to stop Beeson in the backfield, but he did a nice job. A little jitterbugging back there. Found himself a gap. Was able to pick up the first down, so 3rd first down.
Dolphins are countering with what they call the heavy package. We got the nice thing about senior night, Barry, go on the field and talk to all the players. I wish they had that every game. So they call this the heavy package. Bennett Duras single safety. Jacob Oldham checks in as a 4th defensive lineman of sorts. And let's hope this hits.
A lot of different looks that the Vikings are giving the Dolphins right now. So again, they're going to work deep into that play clock as they have earlier. Double tight end to the right, Rios to the left right now. Beeson waiting for the snap. Beeson gets the snap, pulls it, completes it across the middle. So that was a quick hitter. Haven't been able to do that, but we're able to complete it there. Wyatt Perry, called earlier. Perry had a 31-yard touchdown against Taft with a nice double move. Wyatt Perry's a guy who, I think he's a senior. We definitely were calling his name out last year. Wyatt Perry has a Hamline offer from college football.
Oh. Dolphins rotating D-line out. Big Country 55 out. And
it's like Pericini and Del Villar.
MJ Woods back in.
And MJ Woods in there. So 2nd down. That was 5 yards, 6 yards on that completion. 2nd and 4. Rios got going a little early. Rios gets the completion. Rios picks up the first down. Joseph Gray in on the tackle. So that is the 4th first down on this drive. Again, it started at the 4-yard line. Able to pick up 2 passing first downs, 2 rushing first downs so far. Ball into Dolphins territory. 5:44 left in the 3rd quarter. Again, 7-7 game.
Yeah, it's a different methodology than last year. They're really, to your point about the chess match, it's really interesting. They've come up with some pretty unique plays. But they're Vikings, so they're gonna
fail at the end in the Super Bowl. They're gonna lose in the Super Bowl. Yeah. Beeson back to pass. Good coverage. I think we're gonna get a flag on that. So I thought that Joseph Gray had good coverage. I think the back judge thought he was there a little too early. So gonna be a pass interference call against the Dolphins. Dolphin fans are not happy about that. Yeah, I'm not sure about that call, but it is what it is. So another first down.
15-yard, 10 yards from the spot, probably. I wish this is one of my last games. I still don't know the high school football rules.
It's more fun when you don't know the rules. So first down at the 30. I think it was a 10-yard penalty. First down, Beeson. Now that's 2 rushing, 2 passing, and 1 penalty first down. Give to Rios. Reggie Mitchell stacked up immediately. John Spellers.
Yeah, Agent Zero
Big
just checked back into the game. Nice play by Zero, the hero.
Looks like Hinkle is in, so they see if they...
Yeah, they're back to the
Hinkle,
base 3-4.
So loss of 2 yards on that. Spellers again talked about He came in. He's got the Southern Miss offer, 3 sacks and 2.5 tackles for loss coming in. He's already got a few added on to that. 3 wide receivers to Beeson's right. Again, Vikings going into the wind this direction. He's got Mitchell, the running back, to his left. He's looking to his right. Completes it. That's to Wyatt Perry.
Joseph Cray had an inclination there, was just a step late getting to the ball.
So that's the 6th first down on this drive. 3 passing, 2 rushing, 1 on the penalty. Ball inside the 20-yard line. Again, this drive started at the Viking 4-yard line after the Sean Miller punt. Amundsen able to methodically work their way down the field. See if the Dolphin defense, Dolphins have been rotating some guys in. Dolphins need to come up with some stops. Looks like they are loaded in the box right now. Loaded in the box, Reggie Mitchell with the give. Mitchell kind of get to the corner. Nice job by Max Warner out there coming up in run defense. The Truth and Joseph Gray in on the tackle, but Warner did a nice job from his corner position, forcing that action inside. Yeah, Mitchell picks up about 4 on the play.
Yeah, we needed it. Good blocking by the right side of the Vikings line.
Yeah, again, the Vikings doing a nice job. They came in at 3-4, but they have definitely played some good football this last month of the year. And going heavy, so they line up tight end to the right-hand side. 2 receivers over there. Rios, the running back. A little orbit look. Give to Rios. Rios tackled by Spellers, but he's going to be close to a first down. I think he's going to have the first down. So 7th first down on this drive. 7th first down is going to be a 1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
Yeah, we need one of our linebackers, as they've done all year, in a big spot, come up with the play.
Big Country, Oshesky checks in. Oshesky checking in, playing him there. This is the double heavy package.
Yeah, we're in double heavy with Big Country.
Mitchell, the running back. There's Rios in motion. Rios with the ball. Rios looking to get the edge. Now he turns it upfield. Picks up a few. Tackled by a whole bunch of Dolphins. A long way away from us here, but Rios did a nice job probing, making a turn, and getting the ball to the 2-yard line. 3-yard line. 3-yard line, so pickup of 6 on that. 1:09 left here. So the Dolphins had a first possession. They had a nice kickoff return from Gray, but couldn't get anything going, had a punt. And Amundsen has had the ball since then. They might end up with it for just about all of the 3rd quarter, which was definitely their game plan coming in. Mitchell in the slot to the left, Rios, the running back, to the right, and looks like Amundsen is going to take a timeout. So Amundsen takes a timeout. They didn't like the look, and this is an important play. Important play for both of these teams. Again, 7-7. I'll apologize for the 15th time about the lack of a scoreboard, but we've got some technical difficulties in our software right now, so can't get the scoreboard up there. But 7-7. And only 2 scores here came in the first half, a Rios touchdown run and a Maxwell Warner touchdown run.
Another low-scoring game. As you highlighted earlier, it was in regulation last in the playoffs, 13-13.
Yep, 13-13 with 2 blocked extra points.
I think Vegas got this one wrong. The over-under was 48.
Well, it's not, we...
Seemed obvious, but, when it's obvious, you're like, gosh, don't bet it.
Mitchell, the running back, to Beeson's right. He's got 2 receivers, right, 2 left. He's going to keep it himself. working to the outside, but tackled short. Nice job by that right-hand side of the defense.
Pod of Dolphins.
Looks
held
like
them out.
Big Country was down there.
Super heavy package.
Digging it out. I'm sure Scott Meir and Joseph Gray were in on that as well.
That was like the Berlin Wall, I think.
Well, the UN had something to do with that too, right?
They did. They sure did.
It looks like, is Amundsen going to take another timeout here?
We're gonna wrap up the third quarter.
Oh yeah, end of third quarter. Okay, so end of third quarter. They're not taking a timeout. Amundsen has been on a drive for the last 45 days.
It was a long march. It was the Vikings island hopping across to Nova Scotia, and that's how long that drive took.
Newfoundland, Nova Scotia,
Prince
Maine,
Edward Island.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They discovered the St. Lawrence Seaway on their drive down here. Holy cow! This is a good football game, though. I mean, gotta say, it's we haven't been in a dogfight like this. I mean, Morgan Park game was definitely a good game. A lot of the other games so far this year, the Dolphins have had kind of an easy road. These games are, some things that iron sharpens iron, right?
Right. No. I think we need a game.
You get
like
down
this.
the stretch. Again, not as much on the line today for the Dolphins as it is the Vikings. I talked about Morgan Park and Kenwood being the undefeated teams at the top of the Chicago Public League. After that, there's just a lot of traffic. A lot of teams in at 4-1. Lane, Peyton, King, Whitney Young, Simeon, all at 4-1. So
big play here, 3rd and goal.
3rd and goal. Mitchell, the running back. Rios in motion.
Outside.
Rios with the ball. Rios cuts it in, but he's stacked up. Oh, he gets across for the touchdown.
Wow.
So there was some hitting going on there.
We had him.
Yep, some hitting going on. We got a Dolphin down right now. Rios just stretched that out, got some blocks in there, and then got his shoulder pads squared away and gets in for the touchdown. 13-7. Amundsen up. Looks like MJ Woods might be the
really strong
defender down on that side of the field.
A lot of good licks on the running back, and he powered it in.
96-yard drive with 7 first downs. So it wasn't like it was one big play. It was just, and it was a little bit again. It was. That's what they looked like in last year's playoff game.
Yeah, sure.
It was Mitchell doing a lot of that work. Elmer Jacob, their quarterback from last year. Last year they had Derek Weems, who is an offensive lineman who they had lined up at tight end, and they were able to grind it out. So there's MJ Woods limping off the field. Hope that MJ is okay again here on senior night. MJ, one of the stalwarts for this team, talked about. So, I keep trying to tell this story. Like, he started as a 13-year-old at left tackle, which is amazing. And part of his recruiting process at the college level is also the fact that he just turned 17. He looked a lot better when he got over here to the sideline. It looks like he's got a little bit more mobile than when he started. So Aguilar is on for the extra point. Got movement, false start on the Vikings. Aguilar has the wind behind him, so that's also a big change in the fourth quarter here.
Yeah, we must have. I guess we deferred, and they picked the side. We took the ball, they took the side.
So Aguilar is lining up. 25-yard extra point. Ooh. High snap, but he just hammered that. Man.
I was envisioning a 13-13 overtime game.
Yeah.
The extra point is good.
Aguilar, that was a quick motion.
Really
it was a little, snap was a little high. Hold got down. Aguilar just with a short motion just hammered that thing through. So 14-7, 11:53 left here in the game. So in the fourth quarter, just moving along here.
It's time for another kickoff return, and our freshman back there, Mason Abdul-Alim.
Yeah, so we've seen Warner. Again, when you saw Warner return that kick in the first half, got to think that Maxwell Warner, that might be one of his jobs down at Missouri. Again, Warner heading down to Missouri, SEC running back. Looks like
we got the Fox.
The Fox. Just Fox, right?
Just Fox. He wants just Fox.
A.K.A. Fox is back there.
Now.
Gray in the middle of the line. So last time they kicked a line drive that Joseph Gray picked up. A lot of different. It's Jake Seifert, I think, is the handling kickoff duties. They're going to try to keep it away from Warner. That was Jameer Spencer.
Give it to Fox.
Somebody got to pick it up. That's not good. Jameer Spencer trying to get to the outside. Eventually tackled inside the 10-yard line. Well, Amundsen went on a 90-plus yard drive. Let's see if the Dolphins can as well. That one was just it was what Bardsma was excelling at a couple weeks ago, just kind of putting it in between. Not sure, up back, not quite sure what they wanted to do on that.
Yeah, not quite deep enough for our deepest return men to get it. So let's go Dolphins.
All right, Dolphins. Warner next to Conrad. Been tough sledding for Warner. Got a little bit going on that last one. A late give to Warner. Warner, nice cutback. Warner still on his feet. Outside to the 30, to the 40. Ushered out of bounds across the 45-yard line. The chosen one. The chosen one, Maxwell Warner, using a little bit of that patience, using a little bit of that power, using a little bit of that vision, using some speed on the end of that. So Dolphins going to get back on it and go here. Got something working. Let's see. Let's keep it going. 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. A little pass over to their Bardsma, but a little bit short. Bardsma caught it, but it's going to be a loss of 1 yard on that play.
That's too bad. There was something there, just a little connection, a little bit off.
Coach O.D., I think they said, hey, let's get a first down. Let's get right back to the line. And Amundsen came in with a plan tonight. That was to run the ball and control the ball, which they did. Again, they took almost the entire third quarter on that 96-yard, 7 first down drive that ended in a Rios touchdown run. 3 receivers bunched to the right for Conrad. Give to Warner. Warner sprints off the left-hand side. Getting south across the 50-yard line out to the 47-yard line.
Headed south here on the west side.
Getting a good gainer there. So there was a loss of 1 on that first down play. Max picked up about 6 there. Call it 3rd and 5. Need to get to the 42-yard line. Conrad, senior quarterback. Warner, senior running back. Bardsma, senior wide receiver. Scott Meir, senior wide receiver. Williams, senior wide receiver. Low snap. Gets it out there. Scott Meir. Blockers out there. Woo! Scott Meir gets tumbled down, but after a first down, nice block. I think that was Iakunle Espinosa Allen getting a nice block. Both those receivers on that side sustain the blocks. Scott Meir gets windmilled down, comes off to the side.
Yeah, nice block. 33
first
down in the game.
Good job by the senior running back getting to that sticks. Handoff to Warner. Warner tackled after a minimal gain.
Yeah, it looks like the Riz zombie a little dinged up there. Hopefully he'll be okay to get back in the game.
Where did the zombie part come on?
His mom, Jane, had the sign of his picture when he's a little baby, and he was called the Riz Zombie. Or maybe he was the zombie, and now we're putting that was the Riz Zombie. And he said he was good with it.
I'm not sure Rayton Scott Meir is going to complain about much of anything.
A Riz God would.
No, I mean, not when you got that. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
All right, a little realignment here. Joseph Gray in the game at wide receiver right now in Scott Meir's spot. Gets in the slot. Over to Bardsma. Let's see if Bardsma can get a shake on that. So Conrad to Bardsma. Bardsma out across the 30-yard line to the 29.
Big third down here. We're down 14-7, ticking towards 8 minutes left. We're probably 4-down territory.
Absolutely 4-down territory.
I said
down.
probably. Riverboat Dan, it's always 4-down territory.
Yeah, 3 wide receivers bunched to the right. Warner to the right. Warner gets the flip to the right. Warner's got the first down. He's got blockers across the 20-yard line.
Play.
So good job by those receivers. Again, Ben Miller out there as well on that right-hand side. They're going to get to the line. So Iakunle, Espinosa, Allen putting some blocks on out there. Bardsma, single coverage to the bottom, 3 receivers to the top. Warner in the backfield. The Conrad going to keep it. Keep it at feet.
Tackle. Go, VK.
Good tackle out there by, let's see if I can get a number. Yeah, that was Antonio Yanez. Came up from his defensive back position. He had an interception against Taft. Yanez, Wyatt Kelly, again, middle linebacker out there. That defensive line doing a good job for Amundsen, but Dolphins on a drive here.
Dolphins can also play chess.
Big play on this was a long Maxwell Warner run. DeRoss and Williams, receivers to the top. Scott Muir back in. Scott Muir and Bardsma to the right. Scott Muir in motion now. Joseph Gray, the running back. Gray getting the pitch. Gray still on his feet.
Yes.
Gray across the 10-yard line.
When it's a chin strap game, you need Joseph Gray, football player, to touch the ball.
All right, I think they're going to mark it just short of the first down. So 3rd down and 1. Nice job by Joseph Gray there. Just kept his feet moving. Got some blocks from that interior line. Again, Big Country, Paracchini, and MJ Woods is back in there on the offensive line. 3rd and 1. Pitch on! Oh! They had that one dialed up. It was dialed up. It was the fake handoff to Warner.
Yeah.
And Scott Muir was out there, and the Vikings had bit on the run. Scott Muir, he's done a great job all year. Got to go back to him here.
Some of the best hands in the history of the Dolphin program. Jamar Chase dropped the pass last night. So even the greats.
Yep, 4th and 1. Conrad getting the call from the sideline. Again, Dolphins have not been in a 3rd and short, 4th and short type of situation. Going to go to the pony backfield. So Warner to the right, Gray to the left. Conrad waiting for the snap. Conrad gives it to Gray. Gray with blockers.
Gray
all the way down to about the 2-yard line. That was a nice looking play. You got to think every single eye in that backfield was on Warner. And Gray, Joseph Gray, the senior, the football player, getting that handoff off to the right-hand side.
Everybody thinks I got something to say. Something. They forgot about Gray.
Oh, wow. Is that a
I couldn't complete that. Yeah. They forgot about Gray.
6 minutes left. Again, 14-7. Amundsen on top right now. 2 receivers to the top. There's Scott Muir in motion. Low snap over to Scott Muir. This time he gets it. Riz God. The Riz Zombie. Riz God. Riz touchdown. 8th touchdown of the year for the senior. What are you going to do now, Coach Finger? You going to go for 2, or are we kicking the extra point?
Riverboat Dan.
They're going to kick the extra point. Yoni Luze coming out there.
The doctor.
So 14-13. 14-13.
Eerily
Dolphins trailing by 1 here. Great pitch and catch from Conrad. Goes back to Scott Muir. Scott Muir, 8th touchdown of the year. Snap from Edwards coming to Conrad. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up. Kick is good. Woo! Curled inside that left upright. This is fun.
Wow.
14-14, 5:48 left.
Wow.
Coach Finger out there with his
You called
kickoff
it, Barry.
unit.
They had a 90-plus yard drive, and the comment from Barry Newman from Random Lake, Wisconsin was, why can't we have a 90-yard drive? I thought
Why
that was
not?
like,
Why
whatever.
not? Ours
And
took
we did it.
Ours took 7 minutes and 4 hours less than their drive did.
We repelled the Vikings from Prince Edward Island, so they still hold parts of Greenland. It's a war going on in the North Atlantic.
Greenland's always tough to hold and risk.
It always was, yeah.
You just had too many, like, you could go through Iceland, you could go through whatever the
Yeah.
other big country is up there, Canada.
A lot of them.
Always tough to hold. Australia, much easier.
That's the key. Yeah, get Australia. So, 2 keys to our kickoff team. 3, Josiah Purnell. 0, Agent 0, John Spellers. Joseph
kicking
Gray.
into the wind.
Jacob Wildermuth. Shot out of a cannon.
Fielded at the 20.
Get there, Jacob.
Good job. Kickoff
Bottom,
through.
bottom.
Fielded at the 20. Tackled at the 26. Looks like Pentoja, senior down there, along with Joseph Gray.
See what kind of defense Coach O.D. dials up here.
All right, so literally this is the 4th possession of the second half. It was, I think, a 3 and out. Actually, I think we had a first down, but a punt that got downed inside the 5. Amundsen went on a quarter-long drive, and Whitney Young answers it with the Scott Meir touchdown catch.
Dolphins
and
running
the
with a single
Yoni
safety.
Luze extra point. Yep.
14-14.
Trying to throw those 5 defensive linemen and those outside linebackers out there. That's Beeson trying to keep it. Beeson,
Nice tackle,
hammer down,
Bennett.
tackled. Good job by DuRoss coming up from his safety position, but still some positive yardage for the Vikings. They pick up 7 on that first down carry. Beeson has looked good back there. Looked good with his feet. Delivered a couple throws, 3 first down throws, I think. 2 first down throws on that last possession. Hit on a couple of those quick ones. Looking for guys like Wyatt Perry and Jasper Carlson. He's got Mitchell next to him. 2 receivers to the top. There's Rios. Rios with the carry. Rios across the 35 for a first down. So
Dolphins remain sticking with that heavy package. Vikings get a first down. Dylan Paracchini.
Yeah, Paracchini and the Truth checking in. Lynham and Big Country Oshesky checking out. And you can tell some of those guys out there a little gassed. I mean, this is, again, at this time of the year. And it was funny watching that playoff game from last year. And just, you get later in the season and you get some of these games when you really have some pads cracking. It is, Dolphins have not been in a war like this so far this year. So first down, Rios with the carry. Rios,
Nothing.
nice job. MJ.
The bull.
Woods.
Woo! Nice play by 52. Very quick inside.
MJ is going to play defense at the next level, and people are going to be happy with him.
They will be. Good
Tackle of Rios. Gain of 1 on the play.
14-14 game.
3:46. Whitney Young with all 3 of their timeouts. Amundsen had taken one earlier. Those are going to probably come into play here. Second and long. See if the Dolphins can get a stop here. There's Rios in motion. Smith Beeson back to pass. John Spellers. Agent Zero is your hero. John Spellers coming up big.
Wow.
The senior.
Our D-line's been a
rusher.
strength all year. MJ the Woods, senior. Big play. Next play, Agent Zero, John Spellers.
Spellers,
Back
I think
to
that's
back.
his 2nd sack on the day, his 5th of the year.
You think Tony McHale would call that one a sack?
I think that would have to be a sack. I think even the Godfather would have to admit that one.
The sack Grinch would even get
All
that
right,
one.
so third and long. Big
Dolphins
play.
fans going nuts.
2:46 left here in the fourth quarter. Amundsen has not been able to pass the ball downfield yet. Now empty out the backfield. Rios,
Get their
the
spellers.
running back, over on the side. Inside give.
Okay.
Joseph Gray. Nice tackle.
Yep.
Gray came up and closed on that in a hurry.
Timeout Dolphins.
Coach Finger takes a timeout here. 2:25 left.
Good play call by the Vikings with a better individual effort by 21. The football.
Good job. Yeah, because I don't know if that was Carlson that had caught that, but definitely was coming with some momentum upfield. But Joseph Gray just having a heck of a game. I mean, the senior defense right now, again, they've been on the field a lot and coming up with some plays. Spellers with that sack. Big
sack by Agent Zero. We'll see what Coach Finger is going to put his punt return team in, or be a little more careful.
Well, again, Smith Beeson is the punter. So you know that he can throw the ball back there. They do have the wind behind them.
Looks like we do have our...
And the wind feels like it's picked up. It's up to 45 billion knots.
45 billion knots and filtered sunshine.
Yes.
Here on the west.
Extremely filtered.
West end.
At
west
nearly
side.
10 o'clock at night. Somebody coming on late on the field for... That would have been good to leave somebody off. DeRoss backed up to the 25-yard line. Beeson at his 25. Beeson booms it.
Okay, Poison.
So, yeah, you're going to have to get out of the way. Ball floats out of bounds. You're going to mark it at about the 32-yard line.
14-14 game. 2 minutes left.
2 minutes left. 2 timeouts for the Dolphins. Again, heading into the wind. We've seen some big plays from the senior quarterback, Vaughn Conrad. Got a nice completion to Scottmere, the touchdown to Scottmere. Working it to Bardsma. And, of course, Maxwell Warner in the backfield. So Warner, the running back, next to Conrad. 2:16 left. Iokuli Allen Espinosa in motion. There's Warner trying to get to the edge. Does not let guys tackle him. First guys that get there.
Nice.
If you're going to try to lay a shoulder into Max Warner,
Okay,
you're not gonna get him down. That was a lesson that Marlon McBurney just learned. McBurney trying to make the tackle. Warner kept his feet, kept that low center of gravity.
It was very similar to his touchdown run last year. Nothing there. Gained 4 yards.
Second down. 3 receivers to the top. There's Scottmere in motion. 2 top, 2 bottom. Conrad getting over to Bardsma.
There's big play.
Getting out short of the first down, and they're saying they're going to roll the clock. They're saying he did not have forward progress as he headed out of bounds. The clock going inside of 150. Third down. Now an Amundsen player down. That might have been a lobster right there.
Hopefully he's just a cramp.
It was Reggie Mitchell, so very well could be a cramp. He's been out there a lot of the game. We won't say he went down there to stop the clock. I'm not sure that you'd want to do that here if you were Amundsen anyway. Coach Olson going to go out and look at his star running back and edge rusher, Reggie Mitchell. Gives Coach Finger an opportunity to talk to his team. So another third down, third and short. We've seen Conrad be able to complete some short passes. We've seen Maxwell Warner be able to get going. Again, Max in the first half, 7 carries, 16 yards, and a touchdown. Second half definitely has had getting a lot more freedom back there as a running back.
Yeah, a couple of really nice individual efforts by both of our running backs tonight. And 14-14 game, a minute 44 left. Big third down here.
So ball resting at the 40. Need to get to the 43 for a first down.
Yeah, I don't think
call it about the 42 and a half.
I don't think we, even though we have a ninja, I don't think we want to punt it into this gusting hurricane force winds.
All right, clock is rolling. Warner, the running back next to Conrad. Warner looking over that side, but he's still on his feet. Now he's looking deep. Now he's looking for Warner. Whew, just outside.
Nice evasive move by Vaughn.
But man, that was, again, they got him for a long sack early in the game. Again, that was number 29. That was Patrick Burns. Burns from his linebacker position. I think Burns maybe had that earlier sack.
Coach Finger's going to go for this.
So fourth down, 4th and 2.5. Conrad might be going out there to just try to get the Vikings to jump off sides.
I think he should use the Bennett Newman strategy. Don't call a play.
You just want to get up there, and you want to bark. And you want to see if you get anybody to jump. Oh, my God, low snap.
Oh, no. Oh, man.
Warner to the corner, getting north south. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Max Warner just ran through 452 Amundsen Vikings and then laid a guy out on the end.
What a run. Given the punishment at the end, I thought we had just lost the game.
Warner, there was a low snap. Play was off a little bit to start with. I think there was a flag. Oh, my God. There was a flag over on that end. I don't know. Let's see.
After the play, I hope so. First down.
I think it's a first down. I think they got an unsportsmanlike conduct call over there, is what my guess is. And that flag came out for some activity on the sideline. I think maybe, I don't know if that was. That's a sketchy call.
Well, how you call that?
Yeah, that's a
critical
sketchy
point
call.
in the game.
Coach Finger is asking. There was some. Yeah, we haven't played as many close games this year, so we don't tend to get these strange type of Chicago Public League calls. But we just got one there. Again, we're a long way away from the action, so it is a first down. Conrad rolling to his right. He's looking deep. He's got a receiver deep. He's got Sheldon Williams. Williams hauls it in.
He spun around 360 degrees.
In the air. Williams tracking it. The clock should not be rolling right now. They're rolling the clock. Now it should be rolling, except it was rolling for the last 13 seconds. Let's not worry about it now. Conrad looking back right. He's got Bardsma.
Big play.
Bardsma, good. Oh, the flag comes out. And I don't think I would be happy about that if I was Amundsen.
I think
but a flag comes out.
Call.
Pass interference is going to be called. And honestly, I don't think it was. I think it was a good play by Michael Samuels over there.
Now we're even on this drive.
But it was with a first down, that clock should have stopped, and the clock never stopped. The official blew it in, but the scoreboard, you guys missed the clock being stopped. You guys missed that. You guys missed the clock being stopped last time. Do you know that? No, you had it rolling the entire time. You never stopped it. Come on, you guys are so far off. You've cost an entire minute in this game. We're just yelling at these guys behind us. They missed it on the last first down, and then they had the clock rolling here after the penalty. They never stopped it. This is just, they're up there. Oh, my God. Everything that you want to have in a Chicago Public League game we got going on here.
They're saying 46 seconds. Should be a minute 5 or so, but that's okay.
Conrad, the quarterback, Warner next to him, low snap, Warner looking, Warner keeping his feet, Warner dragged down at the 20-yard line. Coach Finger comes out for the timeout.
Coach Fingers letting the refs know what's going on with the clock.
Well, I think he was a little frustrated by his team there, too. I think there might have been a missed block over on the side. So 38 seconds left in this game. Sorry, we're losing it a little bit up here. I'm yelling at the clock operator behind us because they missed 2 calls on that long Sheldon Williams pass. The clock should have been stopped as they moved the chain, so they never stopped the clock there. So there was about 1:20, and it rolled under a minute. And then after the penalty, the clock should have stopped, and they didn't stop the clock then either. These guys are not paying attention up here at all.
So
But anyway, we've got ourselves a ball game, and what about that throw from Conrad to Sheldon Williams and the catch by Williams?
Spun completely around, tracked the ball in the lights, made the catch.
All right, so wind blowing at the Dolphins right now. They've got 1 timeout left. Conrad, the quarterback, 2 receivers top, 2 to the bottom. Max Warner behind him. There's Scott Muir in motion. Conrad rolling to his right, looking. He's wings it to Scott Muir, but out of bounds. That was close. Almost was able to drag a foot down.
Almost.
So going to be 3rd down, 31 seconds left. I know when we talked to Brian Miller before the game, he said Sean Miller probably not able to place kick today. Yoni Luze, 2 for 2 on extra points and 12 for 13 on the year right now. So field goal unit could be in play here. Ball resting at the 18-yard line. So that would make it a 35-yarder. 35-yarder from where it is right now. Conrad, the quarterback, he's got Bardsma single coverage to the top, 3 receivers. Now Scott Muir in motion. Looks like man-to-man coverage on the backside. Conrad looking that way. Nice comeback catch. Oh, going to call that out of bounds too. Yeah, man, it's tough to get a ball in bounds here. I thought that Bardsma would have been in bounds on that. So it'll bring up 4th down. 4th down for the Dolphins. 31 seconds left. 14-14. 14-14 game here. 31 seconds left. Coach Finger, you got Boucher talking to Conrad. I think Coach Finger is going to come out and talk to the referee right now. See Conrad getting a play. Seems like the offense is out there, so I don't think that they're going to attempt the field goal. Conrad coming back on. 27 seconds left. 4th and 10. 4th and 10. Ball at the 18. So they have to get it down to inside the 9-yard line. Sheldon Williams, Scott Muir, receivers to the top.
It's time for big play, Bardsma.
Bardsma, single coverage to the bottom. There's Scott Muir now in motion. Rolling right.
There he is.
Receiver picked off. It was picked off in the end zone. So nice job. That was McBurney. Undercut that route. I think was it Duras back there or Bardsma? So he did a nice job undercutting that route. Ball is going to be at the 2-yard line.
I think they're saying touchback.
Touchback, maybe.
I think it should be at the 2.
So 20 seconds left. Dolphins have 1 timeout. Amundsen has 2 timeouts. Yeah, I think he was definitely at the 2-yard line. But I think they're going to mark it at the 20 because of the Chicago Public League.
How is he not out of the end zone?
Yeah, he definitely the receiver was in the end zone, but McBurney made a nice play on that ball.
Yeah,
the senior defensive back really undercut that route nicely. So Amundsen gets the ball back here. 20 seconds left. 80 yards to go, although remember, they've got a good field goal kicker. So that's Rios pounding the ball. And the clock. The clock didn't start to start with. And then Olsen takes a timeout. And these guys are just not doing a very good job at all on the clock.
Now we're down to 8 seconds.
They're not doing a very good job
Started
at all.
at 20.
Olsen took a timeout, which is the second timeout for Amundsen. Rios picked up 5 on that first down carry. Hope everybody's having a good time out there. We're having fun. I mean, something about these two teams getting together.
Friday Night Lights.
Crazy things happen.
14-14
I'm just
game.
getting back to looking at some of the comments. Barry Gordon, BG3, tells us that Sheldon Williams was in bounds in the first half. We definitely, Jim Ryan, we definitely need more cowbell.
We need more cowbell.
Andres Flores, we got the Lincoln Park coach checking out. Sorry, Coach Flores, it's 14-14 now.
14-14. There are 8 seconds left, or there might be a minute 20 left, or there might be 10 minutes left.
Not quite sure.
We don't know.
Yeah, and again, my 16th apology on the scoreboard. That is where we didn't want to not have the scoreboard. It's just some glitch in our software tonight that we couldn't put the scoreboard on the field. Chaos here at Rockne Stadium.
So
officiating crew and the Chicago Park District on the clock right now.
Dolphins with a 3 safety set.
Yeah, I'm just going to get deep on this.
There definitely aren't 20 seconds
in
left.
the middle.
There were 20 seconds left.
Yeah, it started at 20 seconds. Yeah.
It was just a 20.
There's Mitchell with the carry. Mitchell across the 30, out to the 35-yard line. And a flag comes in late. I don't know what that'll be.
Why there be no time go off the clock? You guys doing a terrible job, just so you know.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
All right, so we're going to wait to see what the penalty is here because there was, that penalty was on the Dolphins on the sideline. So 15 yards being marched off to the 48. So 13 seconds left. Yeah, we've seen Amundsen be able to kick. They were lining up for 50-yard field goals with the wind behind them. We got a lot of weird stuff going on with the clock. That was an unsportsmanlike conduct call or a late hit call on the sidelines. There's Smith Beeson back. He's looking deep. He's got Dinger coming down and big hit. Joseph Gray, big hit on the sidelines along with MJ Woods. So that's Olsen going to take a timeout. 2 seconds left in the game. Smith Beeson almost lost all that time on the clock, and they're going to roll out. We'll see if Aguilar is going to be the kicker. We saw him at the beginning of this game, and he had the ball teed up from the 35, and he was able to make those kicks. Now the ball is resting. I'm not sure if you'd want to attempt it from here. It's at the 37, so that's a
somehow
54-yarder, so I'm not sure that...
3 plays in 18 seconds, and that play took 15 seconds?
Yeah, that was just ridiculous.
So
they are
final
going
play,
to.
we hope, unless
They're
there's another.
Okay, so this is not Aguilar, but remember they had the other kid that was out there kicking to start with.
53-yarder.
They're going to line up a 53-yarder. This is Ian Buckley, the junior. Coach Finger going to take a timeout here.
Yeah, the timeout, Whitney Young.
So Buckley was the kid. He had it at the 40. He nailed one from 50 before the game started. So Buckley and Aguilar, both kickers. So Buckley is out there. Definitely, $1.5 billion knot wind behind him.
Big wind.
See if we're calling, we're praying to the ghosts of Cash Amos and Aaron Champion right now.
Yes.
Aaron Champion, we need you to bust through there and get a block on this field goal.
Got Paracchini checking in, 72. MJ Woods hoping to get some penetration up front. Joseph Gray going back to potentially return the field goal.
Yep, I like that play. There's the snap. There's the kick. It's short.
What? Blew the play dead?
Something. Oh, my goodness. Why not? Why not? Oh. So I'm not quite sure. We're not quite sure about anything right now. Looks like they're going to kick the ball again.
He got a free look at it. I don't like that.
So Gray is back at the end zone. Kick lined up at the 44. This would be a 54-yarder for Buckley. Kick is down. Snap is
Go,
good.
Joe. Come on out, Joe.
Fields it in the end zone.
Joseph Gray.
Looking to head upfield. Gets it out to the 19-yard line.
And that is the end of regulation.
Woo! So end of regulation. I would hope that as we move into overtime, these two teams again played a double overtime game in the Chicago Public League playoffs.
Close one.
The guys behind us really need to clean up their act on the clock. Referees.
Are they able to communicate with the?
Yeah, I'm not sure if what got signaled up. Like he was trying to and I'm gonna not talk about it anymore because this is such a great game by the teams on the field right now. Some of these calls, it's harder for us to tell up here what's going on. I mean, the Dolphins did have a drive going, and there was a penalty on the far sideline after a great run by Maxwell Warner. You hope that was something that was legit that was called on that play. And then, again, on some late action on the far sideline that went against the Dolphins. Now, neither one of them ultimately mattered. It would have been nice to see the Dolphins be able to do something a little bit more on that last drive. But we got ourselves an overtime game. Looks like the coaches are coming out to midfield. So Nick Olson, Coach Finger heading out there. MJ Woods heading out there. Coach Finger and Coach Olson got to be like, what the heck is it with this? So they are actually exchanging a nice little handshake and kind of some gesture. Pablo Bombay out there for the Vikings. Overtime format, going to be a first and goal from the 10-yard line for each team. So each team gets a possession.
So Illinois high school overtime rules. I have no idea what they are, Barry.
I wouldn't have known except that I watched the replay of our overtime. So now I guess I will say this: when we were in the playoffs, of course, you had to have an ending to it. I'm not sure if at some point here you're forced to go for two or what it is. Looks like the Dolphins won the toss and deferred. So Amundsen is going to take the ball first here. Or I think that we won the toss and we said we're going to go on defense first.
We're going to go second.
We did not defer. Yep. And that's good because what you want to do is know what you need to get in front of you. So Dolphin defense will be on the field to start with. 14-14. Clock will not be a factor. I mean, I think it's technically a 5-minute quarter, but both teams just get a possession. Both teams, I believe, get a timeout or two. Nice to see some. Usually, I don't have a chance to look at the live chat, but we've got Barry Gordon, BG3. How you doing out there, BG3? And Alexander Dale. I know Bennett Newman is tuning into this game. So we've got our deja vu all over again here. Amundsen going to get the first possession in the first overtime. Beeson, the quarterback. He's got Reggie Mitchell next to him. Two receivers to the top. Carlson to the bottom. Beeson giving it to Mitchell. Joseph Gray making the stop, but Mitchell picks up 5, maybe 6 yards on that first down carry inside the 5-yard line. Dolphin fans got a little quiet here. Come on.
Woo. Eerily reminiscent of the city semifinal.
Yep. I wonder if Coach Olson went back and watched that as well. Probably has it seared on his brain.
Ooh, yeah.
What they did is in the first overtime, they got the touchdown pass from Jacob to Carlson from right about this spot. So Mitchell, the running back. Looks like Rios is not in there. 2 receivers to the bottom, 1 to the top. Mitchell, the running back. Actually, there's Rios. Beeson going to keep it himself. MJ,
nice.
The bull, Woods,
yes,
flying in for that stop. No gain on the second down play. MJ Woods has come to play. Third down.
Yeah, quick inside. You've seen it, gosh, half dozen times this game so far.
All right, so loaded in the box. Linebackers, be on the lookout here for a quick pass. They can hit some of those quick hitters. Mitchell, the running back. There's Rios. Rios gets the
outside,
ball. Rios
outside,
trying to get
outside.
Forced inside. Bardsma. Good job by Bardsma. Rios still able to get some yards. Got behind that offensive line, and they were still able to get some push off there on the right-hand side.
Looks like
Pick
they're
up
gonna,
about 2.
Looks like they're going to kick here, Barry.
So now Aguilar will come in.
That
number 32.
The far hash is tricky in high school.
Yeah, yep. You got a little narrower
there.
window away. The wind is in their face here. Again, Aaron Champion, where are you? Dolphins, everybody on the line. Good snap, good hold. Kick is off the upright. Off the upright. You're absolutely correct about that. That is a tough kick. And that had plenty of distance, and he just doinked it.
That's a very similar scenario to the Lane Tech game last year.
Yep, off on that far hash.
The overcompensation.
Yep, and again, it's high school, so you've got these wide hash marks. It's not like the pros. Those guys are sissies. They've got hash marks like right down the middle of the field. It's a tough kick for Aguilar. Hits it off the left upright. So now the Dolphins get the ball at the 10. Again, Yoni Luze. Dolphins have only attempted 1 field goal this year, but Luze, 12 of 13 on extra points. Ball going to be set up in the middle of the field. Warner and Gray both in, so had some success with this pony backfield.
Love the pony.
Pony backfield with Conrad, the quarterback. 2 receivers to the bottom. That's Iaculi Espinosa Allen. He's going to get another block in there on the right-hand side. Low snap. Conrad just trying to stay alive. VK5 hammered down. So it was a low snap, and that was Bombay that was able to come up. That was
that could have been worse.
Yeah, absolutely. The ball rolled back there a bit, and Conrad had to scoop it up off the turf. Gray going to check out, so Scottmere comes back in. Offensive coordinator Eddie Boucher gives the play to Von Conrad. A loss of 2.
Dolphins need any score for the win.
Yep, any score for the win. Williams, Espinosa Allen to the top, Scottmere, Bardsma to the bottom. Warner in the backfield next to Conrad. Inside give to Scottmere.
The wrist god.
Yeah, nothing doing though. Tried a little trickeration there. Eyes were on Warner. Gave it to Scottmere. Scottmere's got a touchdown tonight.
Yeah, Riz Zombie. A lot of traffic there.
Yep. I think this stays on the ground. I think this stays in the hands of your SEC-bound running back right now. And if it doesn't work out, you trot out your senior kicker to see if you can put this game away.
Do we go Ninja or Dr. Luze?
I think Luze is the healthier kicker right now and has been out there the most.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe you throw the ball here. Maybe you throw it. But you do have Maxwell Warner who can keep things alive. There's Warner. Oh, nothing doing, though. Warner dropped for no gain. Good tackle up the middle. So good job there.
Dr. Edwards in. The long snapper.
James Reshoft. We've seen him make a couple plays tonight. So Yanni Luze going to trot on here, see if
Let's see
Solomon Bradley is in the audience tonight. We talked to Salo at the beginning of the game. He knocked home a 35-yard extra point and a field goal in that Amundsen, the win over Amundsen in the playoffs. Amundsen going to take a timeout. Fun game here.
Oh, so fun.
Again, Dolphins at 4-1 in the Chicago Public League. Amundsen 2-3, again fighting for their playoff life right now, but a good team. We expected that coming into tonight, and we've got that tonight. Clock has stopped. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know. And who knows with these guys?
Yeah, right,
it really matters. And it doesn't. It's like first score is going to win. You just get a possession. So, I mean, I guess technically they put some time up. But here you go. Get the blocks in. Make sure that you are sealing all those inside lanes. Ball is going to be set up at the 19-yard line. So 29-yard field goal from the left hash into the wind. Edwards, the long snapper. Dr. Edwards. Going to deliver it to Dr. Conrad. Good snap, good hold, good.
Dr. Luce.
It's good!
Dolphins win!
Luce!
Let's go! Dr. Luce!
Dolphin team out on the field.
What a game.
Yoni Luce, the senior kicker, hammers it home 17-14.
We got some backflips going on.
Joseph Gray doing some backflips. Woo! Wow.
What a game.
Yoni Luce
on senior night.
Yeah, baby.
Woo! Yes.
Wow, what a game.
What a great finish. What a great senior night for our somewhere between 19 and 35 seniors.
Great
It's
job.
amazing.
Great job by Amundsen as well tonight.
Wow.
Just like last year, man, you like neither team you want to lose in this game because, man, they just really battled it out. The Dolphins were able to get, and it's so much like last year. I mean, Mitchell had that good first down run, but then some big defensive plays that stopped Amundsen. Have to try to kick a field goal, goes off the uprights, and it was sort of strange. I mean, not that we know what we're talking about, but we talked about special teams, and we watched their kickers at the beginning of the game, saw them on film on how good they were, and just missed. And Yanni Luce, first field goal of the year, but he has been good stepping in for the Ninja. These teams meeting at the 50-yard line. A lot of congratulations. Hard-fought win for the Dolphins.
Yeah, chin strap game. The Dolphins came really hard-fought, hard-hitting game. Dolphins came through with the victory in overtime again over the Vikings.
Again, it's going to be a nice game. 7-1 overall, 5-1 now. So that's a big-time game in the Chicago Public League standings. We will watch these guys coming through still. Yoni Luce. If we want to recap this, and again, our apologies, my 18th time apologizing for the scoreboard. The final score is 17-14. We saw a heck of a game. Got Blake over here with some stats. Scoring plays. Rios opened the scoring with a nice run, a 6-yard run after a big gainer. Put Amundsen up 7-0. Eventually, the Dolphins answered with a 5-yard run from Maxwell Warner after a long 47-yard pass that Conrad completed to Scottmere. Second half, two just monster drives, right? 90-plus yard drive, so 96-yard drive. 96-yard drive that Amundsen put together with Rios eventually getting that touchdown. Dolphins answered with a 91-yard drive. Final play on that was a Scottmere touchdown. Then a couple late possessions, big sack by John Spellers. dicey clockwork by the crew here. Some iffy calls on the sidelines. Also going back, a Sheldon Williams touchdown that Barry Gordon says is in. I trust Barry Gordon. And then you get to overtime. Big stop after a first down run from Mitchell. Got the ball inside the 5-yard line. The kick for Amundsen off the upright. And Dolphins got nothing going on offense, but Yoni Luze didn't care. Hammers home 29-yard field goal for the win.
We got some quick stats here, Barry, from young Blake Von Conrad. Throws for 133 yards on night. Rayton Scott Mayer 62 yards receiving. Barsma 4 for 25. And the key reception of the game was Sheldon Williams.
Absolutely.
1 reception, 46 yards.
That 46 yards. So you had the 2 40-plus yard completions. The first one maybe a little easier, wind at your back, but that was great, and you described it perfectly. I mean, Vaughn did everything he could to stay alive over here because he was rolling to his right and then put the ball up there. There's Coach Finger getting in the senior night victory selfie. So you had senior Conrad getting into senior Sheldon Williams, making the Z great again. So Williams,
yes, he is,
with that catch.
And then rushing-wise, Warner rushed 85 yards. Not much else going on the ground. Joseph Gray.
Gray, but with not a lot of yards, but 2 huge runs. Huge runs.
What a win for the Dolphins.
Setting that up. And Warner, he only had 16 yards rushing at halftime, so over 70 yards in the second half. We saw that burst. Wow. What a game.
What a game. That was
a lot of fun. Woo. We will join you again next week up at Taft. So final regular season game of the year, and then we'll start getting into the algebra of the state and city playoffs, but that also, again, on the state playoff side. It looked like earlier this week that the Dolphins were sitting around the 13th spot at 8A. May not move up at all, but you just want to stay on the top end of that bracket so you can potentially host the game. And I think that you're very close with 8-1. Taft has struggled a bit, but we'll talk about them next week. This is just an awesome game, and hope you all enjoyed it out there. Our thanks to Principal Ricky Harris, Athletic Director Chris Cassidy. Our thanks again to Tony McHale, the Godfather, for getting us on air. Zaid Abdul Alim for the halftime highlights. Jack, so much fun. Thanks for hanging out with me on a Friday night. Holy cow, is this fun. And, of course, to head coach Dan Finger, the seniors. So Coach Finger getting down there right now. Photograph on the field with the seniors. Yoni Luze right smack dab in the middle of that. But all these guys, I mean, the number of seniors that we were calling out making plays tonight, I mean, it's easy when there's 638 of them. But, man, they contributed. Trying to get Coach OD, get the coaches in that photo right now. We're going to hang out just to watch that, and then we'll let you get on with your evening. But Coach Finger, maybe you should get in there, too. He's taking it with his own phone. Coach Finger, get in the picture. Come on, man. There he is.
He's going to do something. Here we are. Yeah.
There's Coach Finger.
Wow.
In the picture.
7-1.
A game.
Senior night.
All right, everybody. So thanks to Dolphin Nation. 17-14 win. Have yourself a great weekend. Go Dolphins. Woo!
Ain't showing up, but it's alright.